Go with his second of the game.
Breaking down Edmonton's favorite teams.
From the Calgary 31. To Lincoln. Smith breaks the tackle. Are you kidding me? Unstoppable Justin Lincoln. Touchdown Edmonton.
This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, here we go for Seoul 495, Monday, September the 8th, Saturday night. Is that electric or what? Big win for the Edmonton Elks. We're going to talk about it all along. We're in a wild Sunday in the NFL. Hey, thanks so much for tuning into the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440 on your AM radio dial, on your morning drive into work, or wherever you are heading out to this morning. You can also watch us on YouTube. It's week number 2 of Sports 1440 on YouTube. As always, we're streaming on iHeartRadio, the radio player app, the TuneIn app, sports1440.ca. If you miss any part of any show, all you have to do is check it out where all the podcasts hang out. We're on Apple, we are on Spotify, Google, even Amazon. Subscribe, it's free. Select the auto download. You'll never miss a second of any show. Also, we're streaming live on Twix, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. So a lot of places that you can find Sports 1440 now. We're so glad that you're with us on a Monday morning where it was just a wild weekend in sports, was it not? I mean, you think about what happened Saturday night. You think about the week 1 on a Sunday in the NFL, and should be coming to a great conclusion here on a Monday Night Football between Minnesota and Chicago. So many storylines to talk about, and we're going to bust her all down in the next 4 hours. Hey, let's welcome in our Monday and Friday co-host, Eddie Steele, Grey Cup champion from 2015, all-decade team. Good morning, Eddie. Good to see you, big fella.
Good morning, KK.
I'm going to say this right off the hop, Eddie. I mean, I was down. You're at the game on Saturday, too, I know, and we're going to talk about where you were sitting and everywhere, everything else. But I honestly was trying to think the last time I felt the stadium, Commonwealth Stadium, to be that electric, the atmosphere. And I think I'm going back 10 years. I mean, it's 10 years. And maybe I'm out to lunch. Maybe there was a game somewhere like 2018, 2019. Because it sure hasn't been since COVID.
I don't recall it. And not to be a homer, taking it back to the glory days of when we last won it. But you're right, KK.
I don't know.
There was a buzz in that building. Probably the biggest win, the most monumental win for this organization since COVID. We could say in the last 5 years, I would say.
Not going to disagree with you. And to go back again, you guys won in 2015. I'm sure there was maybe a game in 2017, 2016 even.
And they,
I don't know. It's so long ago.
Yeah, and the Double E, they swept Calgary last year. They took them in all 3. But the fashion of this game, where things are at, the crowd size, showing up for the crowd, entertaining the crowd the way they did, it was a huge win, and they needed this one.
They sure did. Well, Justin Rankin was the story of the game. I didn't know until doing a little research last night. 1977, Eddie. 1977, Jim Germany is on the Wall of Honor. That's the longest run for a touchdown by a running back, 90 yards, since 1977.
Wow.
I mean, that's insane.
That is insane. Understandable in this league because we know how much of a passing league it is.
Someone would have ripped one off.
I'll tell you what, from where I was sitting, and he wasn't even at midfield yet, I stood up and just put my fists in. I could tell he was out. And man, I'm getting chills talking about it, KK, because the buzz in the building, and I've heard people talk about it, and just it was an old school feel, with the new school players, new school vibes, and this organization's coming, KK. They're coming.
Well, I'll tell you what. Okay, now announced attendance was probably just a shade higher than what it was. It was 25,000 solid, man, and I mean, again, it's coming. It's coming. The only bad thing is that they don't have a home game for a couple weeks here. It's the way it goes.
The good thing in that is, though, they're going 2 Eastern opponents.
Yeah, but Toronto's playing well right now.
They're playing well.
Some points on, and
if they can continue this momentum, September 27th, against the Riders, and we already know it's already a juiced up attendance when Sask comes to town. If they can keep it rolling here and come back with even just one win against Toronto or Hamilton, it's going to be a madhouse that Saturday.
Totally agree. So you were sitting up in the upper deck, up, which
first time
been
ever
closed. I didn't know it was open, and maybe it wasn't supposed to be open. No idea. But you know, when I walked into the stadium, there were probably several hundred people up there. So I it was never discussed that it was.
Yeah, so I like to go and take in the game from all different sites. I'll watch from the end zone, east side. In particular, I do like the east side, catching the sun before it goes down. But it was very packed, and I wasn't going to try and step on anyone's toes and take some seats. In the past, when the stadium's half empty, it's easy. You can go and sit wherever you want. This wasn't the case for the good ways, and we ended up going up top and had a nice sight line. That was my first time ever up there sitting. I've ran those stairs plenty of times, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears on that concrete. But I've never sat down and actually took in a game. And the sight lines, honestly, KK, I was quite impressed, and it was some good view, and you can see everything, and you're not as high up as you think you are.
Text 833-401-1440. West Side J. Eddie. Good morning, guys. Hope you enjoyed the LDC rematch as much as I did. Shout out, Eddie, for taking a little time to chat as well. Hear my rant on why the upper bowl seating, which was opened up, is superior. Great football weekend, and all have a great week.
Well, shout out to West Side. We did have a good chat about it, and he came and he was just explaining how good it was in the feel, and it's just more of it's not going to always be as packed up there, he was expressing. So you can it's more chill, more laid back up there with some good viewing still.
So, and I've said for 2 years, Eddie, they should have the upper bowl open, especially on that side because it's the sunny side, right? And I'm not saying all the way to the top, because there were some people sitting way at the top. Those are the people that just want to go.
Yeah,
up
they're
there.
just trying to get.
They're going on there having a puff or whatever they're doing. So anyway, have maybe 3 sections around the 2 entrance gates, maybe 15 rows up, and then block off everything else. Like, have some ropes or whatever you're going to say. Those seats should be open all the time, and people would buy season tickets there. They would. We know that.
We know that because the people that come up the most and talk about the upper bowl are the people that were forced to leave it, who actually had season seats for decades and generations. Those are the people that love it and appreciate it. And they unfortunately got pushed out.
They did. Last night, NFL game, Buffalo, Baltimore, 41-40. That's a game for the ages.
Are we doing this again this year? I got Lamar, you got Josh Allen. Are we dueling again?
Sure, I'll take Josh Allen, man. I mean, he came back. I mean, you can't argue with the numbers. And Lamar was great too.
Baltimore tricked it off.
These are 2 of the best quarterbacks we've ever seen. But how about this? This is the first time in NFL history, first time ever, a team scored 40 points or more, had 235 yards rushing, and lost.
With those stats, I mean, you put up 40 on the board, should win off of that. You rush for 200 plus like that, B, you should win off of that. The fumble, costly.
That was a big one,
right? I mean, we know football comes down to a handful of plays at the end of it when you break it down, and that was a huge play. And Josh Allen, superhero.
He is, Rockhammer texted, morning, guys. What a game. Bills-Ravens. Best game I've watched in a long time. Exactly. It was one of the best ones, and he's a little bit some other stuff there, Schwacker, but we'll get to that maybe as the morning progresses. Oliver Steve says younger crowd too on Saturday night.
I noticed that. I said that to my wife. I said, wow, it's popping in here. Kevin, it was sitting from where I sat on the east side upper deck. You look across, you see the north end zone, south end zone. It was buzzing, KK. It was a vibe.
I agree.
It was a vibe.
I agree. I have to big shout out. We ended up in the Landrex suite.
Of course, you ended up in a suite.
Well, no, but all the people at Landrex.
I just fell into it.
Well, that's kind of what happened. That's the truth, Eddie. But they were so gracious and so nice. I have to thank each and every one of them. And I mean, also ended up possibly Dave and Heather. We might end up at a little Duke. You're going to like this. Let's welcome in the Duke of Delburne here. First, morning, Duke. Anyway, Dave and Heather, they've got a little event in 2 weeks, or I guess a week and a half, where they do harvesting, but old school. So they have the thrashing machine out, and you throw on the everything, like they got the conveyor belt and everything. So they showed me a couple old videos, and I'm really thinking about heading out there just to see how it was back in the old days, Duke.
You think you can hang?
I don't know. Like, I mean,
Are you going to be asked to particip or are you just there
I'm gonna
in
participate,
a viewing capacity?
no, they said there'd be some refreshments.
I'll show up to work.
I'm going to work. Yeah. So anyway, good morning, Duke. How are you?
Good morning.
Duke
yeah.
had a hockey game last night.
Tropics season
Ooh,
opener last
game
night
one.
from the Drake,
Oh.
and perfect season still intact.
Is your hammy intact?
So the hamstring actually felt okay. It was pretty tight, but first game of the year, you don't got to go too hard. But then in the third period, I kind of went down to like one knee-ish to the side of the net to block what I thought was going to be a pass out to the front of the net. But this guy just turned and ripped it right in off the inside of my leg, kind of on the bottom of it, on the previously damaged hamstring. So now there's kind of like two bruises overlapping there almost, which is painful. And I'm walking a little slower this morning, but that's to be expected. The body was not ready quite. It's amazing. I don't know how I tricked myself into it. Every Sunday during the hockey season, which correlates with the football season, I do nothing but sit on my couch, drink coffee, eat food, and then I go to play a hockey, and I'm like, why do I feel so bad? Why do I feel terrible doing this? I don't understand it. I'd love someone to provide me an in-depth explanation.
I was going to ask you about that tweet you put out because that's my kind of Sunday. Mine is going to play hockey. So Duke was having some brews, ate a whole pot of chili, more
I
brews,
saw that too, Duke.
and then hockey. How'd that all sit on the guts?
Oh, really good. Yeah. Really. The first period, thank goodness it was a first period intermission, because in beer league you get one flood per game and it comes either after the first or second. It was a first intermission flood last night, and if it hadn't been, I'm not sure I would have made it to the end of the second. I came crawling into the dressing room.
The Eddie Steele special?
Yeah. No, not quite to that extent, because I took care of that before I left home. But it was more so just the whole body felt really poor. And we had a lot of bodies. I kind of thought, I was like, maybe I don't need to go back out there for the last couple periods of the game. They can manage without me. Didn't come to that, thankfully.
They can manage without me. Did you watch the game last night when you got home?
Second half of the game, yeah. So obviously, once you get back into the dressing room after the game, it's pretty much perfectly lining up for halftime. Get the game on the phone in the dressing room, and then listen to it on the drive home and watch. End of the third quarter and all the fourth from the comfort of the couch. And it was a wild finish. There's a lot of things to take away from the opening slate of the season, which was like pretty typical week one. A lot of sloppy football. Only one until Sunday, like in the rest of the game slate, only one overhit on the whole day, and it was the Steelers and the Jets, which was something I don't think a lot of people would have predicted, because they both pride themselves on the defensive side of things. And then last night, defense was totally optional, save a couple big turnovers, essentially, right? Yeah. And I'll say this, and I said it in a group chat with Connor and Declan. I mentioned it to Josh this morning. When the Ravens were on their last possession, or the Bills were about to get the ball back, and that camera shot of Matt Prater on the sideline where they're like, yeah, Matt Prater just signed this week, might have to go in and kick a game-winning field goal. If you were a Bills fan, I don't think there was any confidence, because he is old. He's a 41, I think. He looked about 60. And there were some tweets out there looking like the guy needed a fresh Marlboro, or it was not ideal, but they made it easy on him. Only a chip shot to win the game. So big credit to the Bills, down to 15 with about 10 and a half minutes left in the game.
I mean, full credit. And I mean, I would, if you wanted to lay a futures bet out of these two teams meeting in the AFC Championship, I think you could probably get that going easy.
What surprised you boys the most out of the NFL slate yesterday?
Daniel Jones, Indy. It's not
you
crazy
had that
to say that, right?
Well,
here's the thing, though. Are the Colts that much better than we thought, or are the Dolphins that much worse? Because the Dolphins look about as bad as a team as I have seen.
Absolutely abysmal.
It was terrible.
Yeah. Are they thinking about starting Zach Wilson next week?
Too much drama there, too.
I don't know.
Where there's smoke, there's fire, fellas.
You could say, too, Aaron Rodgers, so it was a pretty decent performance.
Yeah, that was. But the Detroit, Green Bay, that surprised me. Green Bay put it on him pretty good.
They laid it on him.
Yeah, they put it on Detroit pretty good.
Duke, your little buddy Tesla with a touchdown one-handed catch, eh?
Yeah, pretty good first catch for your NFL career. There were a bunch of dandy kick grabs made yesterday. The DeAndre Hopkins score last night. That was vintage D-Hop. Glad to see him still having a little something left in the bag.
What about your Houston boys, Duke?
Oh boy. So I was so mad all afternoon after that game finished. Like whatever, the hour I was puddling around the house before leaving for hockey. And then you can ask any of the Tropics teammates. That's all. If people say how my day of watching football went, all I did was complain about the Texans. My positive spin zone is that the Rams have a really good defense and a very good defensive front in particular. The O-line, which we knew was going to be a struggle for Houston, also got injured in-game to make it even worse. But to say I am nervous now moving forward,
there's a high level of concern
about the state of this offensive line would be a huge understatement.
Nico
because
Collins non-existent.
You could have asked me. I had to double check several times if he was playing the game. I was not sure if he was actually in the contest or not.
Very concerning.
Very concerning. Very concerning.
Coming up on the big program today, Alan Mitchell will be with us right off the hop, as he usually is on a Monday morning, 7:20. Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet at 8 o'clock. We'll go in or out with Eddie as well in the 8 o'clock hour. Levi Weaver from The Athletic covers Major League Baseball. Really looking forward to 10 o'clock. Justin Rankin will be by. 16 carries, 204 yards, the 90-yarder and a 31, I think it was. For 2 touchdowns. Man, he was electric. I'm eating my words, man. I mean, we had an in or out question about a month and a half ago about him being a superstar in the league. I said, no, I'm eating my words. The guy is a legitimate superstar in the CFL.
Whoa. They got superstars in the CFL?
They do. They do.
I'm just playing.
They had one 10 years ago, Eddie Steele, all-decade team.
Wow, that was my little fun shot at Ed. Remember Ed said there weren't?
I know. And Connor Halley will bust down Fantasy Frenzy. Man, some big performances, some real duds, as we just talked about. I don't know what Josh Allen finished up, but he's got to be high 40s for points in fantasy. Some unreal performances for sure. That's all coming up. Kevin Karius, Eddie Steele, Duke of Delburne, and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440. We're also streaming on YouTube.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey, Culligan. I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at culligan.ca.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Edmonton sports fans stay informed with Sports 1440. Stream us. Listen to us on the AM dial. However you consume this radio station, thanks for listening.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in stock, ready to deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need, when you need it, 24/7, 365, every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
You ever done something you can't be forgiven for?
Crave is the exclusive home of HBO originals, including Task, the new crime thriller from the creator of Mayor of Easttown.
I'm going to take their money so we can have a better life.
Starring Emmy winner Mark Ruffalo.
If things go terribly wrong, people want to know why God let it happen.
And Emmy nominee Tom Pelfrey.
Have I almost found a way out? You never did anything like this.
Task, an HBO limited series. Stream now, only on Crave. Subscribe at crave.ca.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 721 in Edmonton. Time now for the Puck Report, brought to you by Fountain Tire. Ready to swap your tires out this fall? Well, Fountain Tire makes it easy and saves you cash. Get $50 off tire storage with the purchase of a new set of tires. September 2nd through the 30th, no more stacking tires in your garage. Let us handle it. See select locations for details. They probably got decent valve stem caps, probably too, at Fountain Tire.
Well, we'll get into that.
Let's welcome in Alan Mitchell from the Lowdown with Low Tide. Good morning, Tide. You're with Kevin Karius, Eddie Steele on a Monday morning. As always, thanks for jumping on to lead things off. How was your weekend?
It was very good. I had a very busy weekend, and I was quite tired. And I watched. I thought, well, I'll watch the end of the Bills game. It's a dud, but I'll watch it, in bed. So I'm laying there in bed and I'm nodding off. And then the damn game turned out to be one of the most exciting I've ever seen. Unbelievable, unforgettable. And then I couldn't sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way it went. I mean, you guys are football fans, and one of you is a great football player, and the other one played in the CFL. So let me ask you something. Was that one of the best games you've ever seen in your life?
Go ahead, Eddie.
Yeah, definitely. It's up there. You can't script it any better than that.
Man.
The way that game played out, the superhero theatrics with Josh Allen, but then the offensive production that Lamar Jackson had too. Both guys lived up to the hypes. Both teams lived up to the hype. That's as good as it gets, Tide.
Yeah.
Man, I don't even know, and this is going to sound nuts, but I think, the one thing that I would like to say today is give Jackson his due. That guy is an absolute, unicorn. Man, what a football player.
That third down run, there was what? I mean,
he makes it look easy.
Yeah.
He really does.
Man, that was so exciting. It was just out of your shoes. Great. That's why the NFL is the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Josh Allen kept mentioning about the people leaving. Well, I mean, the odds are, folks, that was not going to end that way, but it was terrific. It was such a great football game. After the Eagles game against the Cowboys was kind of dull, but that was a great game.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of people leaving, Tide, remember that Oilers Dallas game in the playoffs in the 90s? Bucky ended up, I think, scoring the and everyone left. They were driving down, which was Capilano at the time, and everyone came back.
Yep, I remember that very well. That late whatever year's team was. There's some great memories in there. Oilers fans have. I mean, there's been some tough times. There's no doubt, but there've been great all-time moments. I was down on Saturday to take in the Elks breakfast, and I had a good long look at the old arena. And I mean, it still looks pretty good for nobody being there.
Yeah.
It's like 50 years after people going on in there, I'm sure. But, I will tell you some of the best sports memories I've ever had in my life, and some great concert memories were in that building.
Yeah. By the time City Hall gets around to demolishing it, it'll be about $100 million to demolish it by the time they figure out what they're doing here. I think it's 35 is what it is right now.
You could have gotten some guy to do that back in the day, or, sell it to somebody that turned it into a museum. Now it's like, it's going to cost a lot of money,
Yeah, exactly. And Saturday was electric. Eddie and I were talking about, I don't recall being at Commonwealth Stadium in the last 10 years and felt like that. Maybe it's just recency bias, or I don't know what it is, but for sure since COVID, I know that.
Oh, yeah. That was, to me, that was a throwback game where I love the idea of the breakfast. You got to catch that. But also, there are times in a history of a sports franchise when the fans are ready and the team is ready, and that happens. This team has been to hell and back. Really, you said COVID. I'll say since COVID. They hire a coach. He brings in players. They don't play, the season. Then they bring in another coach, and the players are all, non-hand picked, and it was a mess for a long time. And I don't have to get into all the other details of it, but they have an owner who really cares. They have a fan base that is ready. They've overcome some things, and now that football game, which was let's give credit to the football team. That was a hell of a game. Calgary's good team, and I thought the Elks played as well as they could.
Yeah, they played a strong bounce back game, and I'm not surprised because that's typically what happens with the Labor Day and then the rematch. When you lose that first game and you play 5 days later, you can't wait to get that taste out of your mouth. And believe it or not, there is a certain level of belief and competition within yourself that is brought out when you get beat by a strong rival like that. So I'm really pleased to see the fact that they played with the effort that they did. I was expecting to see that, but then to get the results as well. Mm-hmm. And I just want to spend just another second on the fans and the crowd, because this was, we talked about it earlier, Tide, a monumental win, biggest win since COVID, because you know what? This team, first Western opponent win this year. It's always nice to do it against Calgary, but they showed up for this fan base. The team did. And we've seen this team go 2 steps forward, 1 step back many times over the past few years. This win, I felt, was such a big win because it was expected from the fan base. And this team came out and they lived up to the expectations. And that's everything. And now it gets people excited for when the Riders come to town at the end of the month.
It's also, if you think about, and I'd love to hear what you have to say about this, 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, some of these guys were looking at professional extinction, and that has to be because you're playing the game you love, and they turned it around. BC loses, so now the CFL. I love the CFL. There's always a playoff race if you just win a few games, but now they've got momentum, and I know the Rough Riders are tough, but they're in it now. We can talk about the Elks in a different way. We don't have to say, the draft is this, or maybe they can, redo the O-line, in 3 weeks. This team's in it, and it all matters. Everything matters, and there's nothing like a football team that is in the race that you can talk about week to week and look forward to the who practiced today. What does the depth chart look like? All of those things matter in this city in a way that they haven't for some time. It's fabulous.
Alan Mitchell with us on Sports 1440. Kevin Karius, Eddie's Deal 728 in Edmonton. From the text line here, and I wanted to address this with you, Tide, after Saturday morning's sad news about Ken Dryden's passing. This is from James. Ken Dryden's passing was very sad. It was many things. He authored one of the best hockey sports books ever, The Game. This is from James. I'll tell you what, Tide, and I know you're a big historian with many, many sports, but Ken Dryden was unique. Everyone uses that phrase unicorn now, but back in the day, in the early 70s, that's how he was. This was a guy so cerebral. He was one of a kind for sure.
He changed the game in so many ways. First of all, when the game was at rest, he was at rest in a very unique way. If I close my eyes, I'm seeing Ken Dryden with that patented mask, and he's got his hands on his stick, and he's waiting for everybody to get set. It's just a beautiful moment of zen. And Dryden was, he ruined my childhood in 1971 when they beat the Bruins, but he was, he won the Conn Smythe, then he won the Rookie of the Year, and then he did the unthinkable. He just didn't go to work in the NHL for a year because Sam Pollock wouldn't pay him what he thought he was worth. And I want people to imagine Bobby Hull, who was the biggest star in the National Hockey League in 1969. He held out, and he got pressured by ownership, by the media, and by fans to come back, and he cowed to it. And Ken Dryden didn't. He just didn't do it. He said, "No, we're nowhere close. I'm going to go to, I think it was McGill, no, it probably was somewhere in Toronto, to finish, studying to become a lawyer." and he had the strength of character and the personal belief system and the courage of his convictions. And that's something that after his career, he did so much, in terms of player safety. And as the texter mentioned, the game, he also wrote a fabulous book with Scotty Bowman not long ago about the greatest teams of all time. I found myself, I felt the wind come out of my sails when I found out that Dryden had passed, because he was an iconic figure in a world of sports that needs more of those kinds of people. He had great integrity, and everybody respected him.
Well, even 1972, right? The Summit Series, one of the key guys in that series.
Yep. Yeah, he was, and he won Stanley after Stanley, and then he walked away from the game, and he played the decade of the 70s, and that was it basically. He and Bernie Perrant dominated the decade, but Dryden could have played many more years. I think he was 31 or something.
Yeah.
Maybe
The other thing too, Tide, he won the Conn Smythe Trophy before he won the Calder for rookie.
Yeah.
So that's how neat this was.
He came up. He played 6 games. He came up from the Montreal Voyageurs at the time. They later became the Nova Scotia Voyageurs. He came up. Yeah, he came out of Cornell. He played in Montreal with the Voyageurs of the AHL team, and then he came up for 6 games. I think it was Rogie Vachon and Phil Muir were the goalie tandem, and then they started him in the playoffs, much like Glenn Sather would do a decade later with Andy Moog here, and Dryden. I mean, he stoned the Bruins, and then Minnesota North Stars were a tougher out that year than people remember. The Habs damn near lost to the Minnesota North Stars, and then in the final, it went to Game 7, and Dryden was brilliant in all 3 series, of course. It was a memorable year. I'll never forget that year. It hurt me deeply, but I'm over it. He lied.
Low Tide over the weekend. The Toronto Blue Jays, they lost 2-3 to the New York Yankees. Still sitting 2 games up in the division, but it seems week over week, the lead is slowly dwindling. How is the confidence level in this team?
This is at this point in the year with 22 games or whatever left, you might as well treat it as a flaw, as a tie. I know they're 2 games up in the loss column, and that is key. But the Jays are the team that's bleeding, and they'll turn it around. There's an up and a down to every year. But right now, they're not finding answers. The manager can't find answers at the back of the bullpen. They're giving up just enough. The bats are good, but not great. And the Yankees just went through this. Now they're coming out of it. The Bo Sox are off a little bit. They so badly need a hot streak. They've got the bats to do it, but they need 3 guys to go out, like Barrios, Gausman, and Bieber, just to pitch gems and win 3 in a row, and then things look a lot better. That can happen and may happen this week. But right now, 2 games up doesn't mean a whole lot when you're playing like the Jays are. It doesn't take long to lose those 2 games.
What's shaking on the lowdown today, Tide?
Well, we've got Jason Gregor coming in. We're going to talk to him about this was one of the most, I think, eventful weekends for all of sports, but certainly in Edmonton. I think the Elks story is a major story. And I've got so many friends who have not been fully engaged for a long time. They're texting me about the game. They're talking to me about, what the Elks need to do. And when BC lost, I got texts. This team has excited fans in a way we haven't seen in a long time. And because we're the sports station, we're going to talk about it. So that's going to be the big subject of the day, the Elks and the fact that it's been a while, but this is an exciting football team that fans are getting behind.
Well, right now, I mean, both teams, BC and Edmonton, tied at 5-7. Toronto's 4-8. Ottawa's 4-8 as well. So, the playoffs are definitely in the conversation. So, going to be an interesting couple of weeks for sure.
And it's all good. And I think the Rough Riders might be looking past them, and that you take advantage of that, right? It doesn't matter what the final score is. You just got to win. And the CFL, watch the whole game. Man, oh man, that was a good game on Saturday.
It really was. Tide, as always, thanks for leading things off on a Monday morning. Appreciate it. Have a great show today, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, boys. Thanks.
That's Alan Mitchell, 12 to 2 right here on Sports 1440. And the Puck Report brought to you by Fountain Tire. Get ready to swap your tires out this fall. $50 off for tire storage when you purchase a new set of tires, valve stems included. Eddie, what are you taking your headphones off?
Got a little premature there.
Oh yeah, like I thought maybe you're making were you taking a quick exit here? Are you going down the hall here, or what's going on?
It's not 9 yet.
You're an hour and a half early. When we come back, we'll get to some of your texts. Actually, I want to read this one, Eddie, before we go to break. And I'll be honest, this is the one where I was like, okay, because I thought about you talking about your seats, right? And going up to sit in the upper deck, because to me, I think someone just didn't put the ropes off and cordon them off.
Could have been, for sure. If that was the case, though, I mean, it was very obvious that.
But what do you do? What do you do? Like,
do you go and are you a wet blanket? And
are you going to get security
to go and escort them out?
Take 100 people out?
More than that.
Well, obviously they didn't buy tickets there. Okay, you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
This is from Doug. 833-401-1440 on the text line. Hey, Eddie, Kevin, I went to the Elks office to buy my tickets a couple of weeks ago for Saturday's game. I asked if I could buy tickets in the upper bowl where we had season tickets before. I was told no, the upper level was closed. I spent $210 for 3 adult tickets, $60 for 4 kids tickets to sit in the lower bowl on the 30-yard line east side. I'm not complaining, he says. They were good seats, but I really wanted to sit in our former seats. Just a little ticked off. So I think you're like everyone else. You're walking by and you see a few people go up there.
Oh, totally. Well, I started the game off in the alumni.
Yeah.
So I started at least for half of the first quarter, seeing everybody in the alumni room. And then, I noticed that it was open and there was a lot of people up there at that point in time. So, but you're right. As we walked by when we were over there, I don't recall it being manned. I don't.
So that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to that and other texts coming in, 833-401-1440. Kevin Karius, Eddie Steele, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 and streaming on YouTube.
Mr. Rooter goes for a fall stroll.
Ah, the beauty of fall. These leaves are crunchier than that calcified shower head I replaced this morning. And the earthy yellow oranges and browns are as colorful as the wad of hair I pulled out of the shower drain.
Ugh, Mr. Rooter, can we talk about something else?
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you didn't like fall. You look about as sour as the sewer line I unclogged yesterday.
For a plumber you'll truly fall for, call Mr. Rooter.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 25% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until October 18th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
It's the Brick's famous tent sale. Save up to 60% off clearance items in the tent and store, with more amazing deals arriving daily in every department, like up to $1,800 off power reclining sectionals and up to $700 off big screen TVs. Buy more, save more when you buy 2 or more major appliances, up to $1,000 off. Plus, get a free Bluetooth party speaker when you spend $9.99 or more on furniture. Some exclusions apply. See in-store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Want some good news? St. Albert Dodge is holding the biggest sale of the year on their in-stock Ram 1500 Sports. Every single one on the lot is discounted by a whopping $14,000. Yeah, $14,000. And St. Albert Dodge has the best selection in Alberta. Over 90 Ram 1500 Sports to choose from, with great packages, including the Night Edition and GT models, all $14,000 off the ticket price. Get down there and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. Stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Center. TNA Wrestling makes its explosive debut at the Expo Center on Friday, September 26th and Saturday, September 27th for back-to-back nights. Buy your tickets online today. Learn more about what's happening at the Expo Center by visiting the calendar of events online at edmontonexpocenter.com today.
Every weekend, listen right here for live broadcasts of Toronto Blue Jays baseball. Sports 1440, proud to be the home of the Blue Jays.
Farm, ranch, acreage, or lake lot. They're here to help at Bashaw Concrete Products. Family owned and operated for 60 years. They continue to provide the best products and service, period. Call now for your free quote on the highest quality ready mix and gravel, a new septic tank, or an outhouse pad and tank. Plus precast cattle water pads, garage sumps, and more. Call 780-372-3854 for prompt delivery. Bashaw Concrete Products. 780-372-3854. BashawConcrete.com.
They sure saw you coming. You went in for about $200 in auto service, and by the time Johnny Slick out front was done telling you everything he thought you should have replaced, you got hosed for $3,000. Big Toy Shop won't lie to you, inflate your bill, or waste your time. You'll know exactly what your service actually costs and when it's going to be done. Take your ride to Big Toy Shop, 8315 Argyle Road, 780-298-2797.
Kevin Karius Show, breaking down Edmonton's favorite teams, even though his favorite Junior A hockey team is the Yorkton Terriers. Thanks for checking in with Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 742 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Eddie Steele, Duke of Delburne with you on Sports 1440. Josh Fenwick, Sam the Record Man, streaming on YouTube as well. Text 833-401-1440. Otwell Okotoks Euler says this, Eddie. KK and Eddie, Vernon Adams starting to fade away. He always starts the year strong, then drops off. He was pouting on the sidelines when he got yanked from Triple O. I don't know if I noticed that, but what'd you think of VA?
In terms of the season and starting strong, VA hasn't even really had the strongest season from start till now. He's been good, but it's not like he's been lights out. If you go back and look at game over game, his numbers, they've been good, but he's not throwing for 303 touchdowns every week. That's for sure. Their defense has been what's had them in games. I mean, going into this past weekend, they allowed 15 total touchdowns, 15 over the course of whatever it's been, 10 games. That's a pretty darn impressive
11,
defense. So, I saw the body language. It's the end of the game. You're losing. VA, I've played with him as a teammate, and then that would have been in 2018. And since then, he's all that's talked about is the leadership that he has, and the presence that he is in the locker room in terms of a good way. He's not that type of guy.
So again, you're just losing. It's 2 games in 5 days. You just want to get the hell out of here, right?
That's it, man. Yeah, that's it. And game's over. It was interesting, them putting PJ Walker in. Was that because Vernon's struggling? Was that just to save Vernon? Don't take any hits or anything. Let's just get out of here, kind of wave the white flag. That's how I viewed it, more than them actually putting PJ Walker in, hoping that he's going to spark them and get a win.
From the text line 833-401-1440. Here's another one for you, Eddie. Morning, boys. What a weekend. Elks big win. Sorry, Tim, I'll read this one, but something slipped on me here. A lifelong Ravens fan talked me off a cliff and tell me things will be okay. So just from last night's game, I'll find the other one here, Eddie.
Things will be okay. The team that you have in Baltimore is
a hell of a team.
Oh, that roster is arguably the best roster in football. Look, they tricked that game off. That was their win. Buffalo had no business winning that game. Fantastic that they did, but that's not an everyday occurrence. Baltimore wins that game 9 out of 10 times.
The fumble's the big one. And
Fumbled
Derrick
everything.
Henry was great, but
exactly.
the fumble, that's the one that he'll
You're
be
up
talking
8,
about.
3 minutes left in the game. He fumbled it. That is the game right there. And that's after Derrick King, I should say. King Henry went for what? 169, busting off these big yard runs. Crazy.
That's
At
good.
31 years old, it's nuts, man.
This is the one I was looking at for more. Are the Elks now in an enviable position at quarterback, Eddie. A number of teams are now hurting at quarterback. We talked about Zach Collaros here due to injuries. Could Trey Ford be trade bait if management doesn't feel he can be a starter? That's the question.
That's a good question. It's a really good question. Tell you what, I'd rather have Trey Ford as my starter than Chris Strevler over in Winnipeg. That's for sure.
Yeah. But you'd rather have him here.
No, yeah, for sure. I'm saying I'm in agreement. That's an enviable position because when you look at a Winnipeg, Zach Collaros, he's going to be sidelined, I'd imagine, for the rest of the year.
Like, what about Montreal, Eddie, here? I mean,
yeah, they're on their fourth or fifth. You can't keep rolling that out either. I don't think that Edmonton moves off him, though. It's a 2-quarterback league, and you need your 2 quarterbacks at every point in the season because it can happen so quick.
Yeah, I mean, maybe next year you would think about it because you have to talk about salary cap and structure. Maybe, but
right now it's they're looking okay.
Yeah.
They're looking, and that's a very good text because you get to thinking and looking across the league, and there are some teams that are really hurting at that position. Ottawa as well.
Yeah, Bobby texted, "Morning, guys. Let's not forget the Elks were missing a couple of key players." I mean,
that was a point I really wanted to touch on.
What did you think?
Oh, isn't it something that you're missing? And not to beat up on the guys, but Robbie Smith, Jake Serezna, a couple of high-paid, big franchise name guys haven't really showed up this season. They're out, and the defensive line has the best game that they've had. They were humming now. That defense, there's no denying that D-line was humming the other night. It was old school, good to see.
So why? How?
I don't know, man. I really don't know how to explain it. I'm not going to sit here and say these guys are complacent because they got big paychecks, because that can be a thing. I don't know how their mindset is, but I've seen it. I've lived it. I know I've personally got a little complacent one season after I got paid big, and you know what? I got cut because of it. You got to always have that urgency, and you saw that D-line play with that urgency.
So who impressed you? Like, I mean, we talked about, several guys already in past weeks, but anyone?
Honestly, the defense as a whole, obviously combo with a couple of sacks, but the DBs, man, JJ Ross, Cordell Jackson, the way they are starting to finish plays and contest balls, it's so good to see. Tyrell Ford has been consistent all year. The DB play is really helping because they are a big reason why Vernon Adams struggled, you could say, in the game. A lot of batted balls, there's some drops there, but there are a lot of contested balls. In the past, we've seen balls caught and room to run. Guys can make moves. No, now guys are getting a lot stickier, and it's a lot harder to catch these balls.
What about the linebacking core? What'd you see?
I thought Joel played pretty solid in terms of his output. Honestly, nobody really popped from the linebacking core. Did their job, but the defensive line was noticeable. The DB play was noticeable to me.
Yeah,
they played fast. They played fast all game, and then of course we know the focal point, the tank. The rank, the tank.
And we're going to have Justin Rankin on at 10 o'clock today. 204 yards, 16 carries, 90-yard touchdown run, the longest run by a running back since 1977. And we said that off the top of the to me, that's crazy. Like, I'm trying to think, like, all the backs. Like, think about all the great backs. Like Mike Pringle. I'm not saying Pringle was like a breakaway speed. John Avery.
But it makes sense, though, because usually running backs aren't the fastest guy on the team. So to get out 90 yards on a CFL field, usually a DB can take a good angle and hawk you down, right? It's different if it's a receiver, because running backs, they're typically not going to have that long speed like that, and they'll get tracked down. And so it makes sense. But like I said earlier on in the show, from where I was sitting, I guess, I shouldn't have been up in that second deck, but from where I was sitting up there, Kevin, Rankin wasn't even at the 50, and I stood up. He was out. I knew it just because I saw that angle. It was perfect, and you could see the speed that he had. He is quick and fast at the same time.
But think about how many 90-yard runs we've seen in the NFL. Like, you see them.
Yeah, you'll see them.
I'm just going, like, I mean, I can't believe that we haven't had one here since 1977.
NFL's different, though, because the angles, man, once you get to that secondary level in the NFL, the angles you're so far behind. If you're the wide side guy, you can't take that deep angle and try and chase a guy down. CFL, it's different, man. With the size of the field, it is a little bit more forgiving defensively. If you take a good angle now, you just put your head down and sprint to that pylon, you might be able to meet him there. So I totally understand why it doesn't happen too often with running backs.
Bob texts in, our buddy Bob. Interesting how the D-line showed up, linebackers too. But as usual, no introduction to Eddie or Kevin. Now, did I? Bob, you were supposed to come hunt us down.
Yeah, Bob.
We were there. I was
Sorry, Bob.
I was at the tailgate party.
Yeah, we were all there.
Eddie's signing autographs.
I mean,
this is your call here.
Yeah, you got to tell us when and where, and I'll be there, man.
Come on, Bobby. HVAC Nick just texts in, the 90-yard run was cool, but the second touchdown run by him, oh man, it was a highlight reel. Yeah. I guess
sick juke. Just a sick juke.
Yeah.
And then there was one in the fourth quarter, 9 minutes and 50 seconds left, where he hurtled out of a huge tackle in the backfield and then took it up the sideline, man. He had a beast of a game.
Yeah. Craig and Red Deer texted, morning, guys. I'm watching the Chiefs. My Chiefs get smacked around Friday night. My 11-year-old daughter says, why do they keep talking about Travis Kelce on the game? She only knows him as Taylor Swift's boyfriend, I guess. I watched that game too, yeah. I mean,
Herbert looked good.
Herbie looked really good.
Wee.
Yeah.
Connor Halley.
Yeah, and I mean, that was in Brazil. I mean, obviously pretty.
Was that a home game for the Chiefs? No?
For the Chargers.
For the Chargers?
Yeah. So
yeah, they'd never give up the Chiefs give up a home game.
Well, no, but I mean, again, in the Chargers, I mean, half the time the teams that go to play in LA
are the support.
Yeah. Bart, KK and Eddie, is this the year the Broncos dethrone Mahomes and the Chiefs? Go Broncos. Well, hey, let's talk about the Chargers too here in the division.
Yeah,
the Tennessee, man.
I know, and I didn't like how they looked against Tennessee. I thought they'd be a lot cleaner. Being in Bo Nix's second year with the marriage of what's his name, Sean Payton, I thought they'd be a lot tidier.
You asked me what the biggest storyline was in week 1 here, and I said Daniel Jones quickly. How about almost Cincinnati losing to Cleveland?
I picked Cleveland to win that game too.
Yeah, what happened?
Couple of missed field goals. Cleveland's defense, boy, they played well down the stretch. Myles Garrett, their defensive line. And that was one of the games that was on TV shown here in Edmonton. If any of you listeners watch that, their defensive line, you would have saw took over towards the end of the game. It was pretty cool to see, man.
Yeah. Tonight, Minnesota, Chicago. I got Chicago.
The game of the week.
That's not the game of the week.
Get out of here. Game of the week. You got Chicago?
Well, remember we had last Friday on
we got
in or out.
Do we got
well, no, it was the dog of the week, and the Duke's dog of the week was, what was it again, Duke? Remember, it was 3.5 now.
Good question. What was it? I don't remember.
But anyway, I said it was going to be Chicago because Chicago is at, what is it?
I took the Panthers, and they did not do that.
Yeah, that's what it was, Duke.
I was on the Panthers for my dog of the week. I'll say this about the Panthers Jacksonville game, kind of the forgotten one yesterday because it was in delay for over an hour. I didn't actually think Bryce Young played that bad. I thought his rest of his offense, especially his receivers, let him down on several specific occasions to try and get them back into the game, but they still didn't look super good. Tough.
Pillman says, happy Monday, boys. How about my Steelers? Huh? Old gunslinger got her done. 4 TD chucks.
Jeez, look pretty good, man. Look pretty good.
Player of the week, maybe?
Yeah.
No,
we'll see what JJ McCarthy rolls out tonight.
Whatever. Daniel Jones, 272 he threw for, 2 rushing touchdowns, and a passing touchdown. And I remember when they named him over Anthony Richardson,
people were up in arms. Yeah. He had a really good performance. He really did. Surprised me. Big time.
Coming up at the top of the hour, we got Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. We'll go in or out with Eddie Steele in the 8 o'clock hour. Also, Levi Weaver coming up at 9:20 from The Athletic, covers Major League Baseball. Blue Jays have today off and then open that series with the Houston Astros. This is a tough little skid for the Jays. They do have Baltimore and coming up after this, but I mean, there are some teams that are the Yankees now after 2 out of 3, they're 2 games back, so it's going to be a tough final few weeks of the season. Also coming up in the 10 o'clock hour, as we mentioned, Justin Rankin, 204 yards rushing, unreal performance. He will be the CFL Player of the Week for sure. And then Connor Halley from Fantasy Frenzy coming up at 10:20. Before all of that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Nectar.io, transforming field data into boardroom insights. Nectar.io is the all-in-one solution for your fleet, your safety, time tracking, and even material management needs. Nectar.io, your business made better. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
First full Sunday slate of the NFL season yesterday, and it did not disappoint. Sunday Night Football, an all-time clash between the Bills and Ravens. Buffalo takes it 41-40 on a walk-off winning field goal by Matt Prater. Josh Allen just under 400 yards through the air. Derrick Henry, 169 on the ground. Elsewhere, yesterday, the Buccaneers win it over division rival Falcons 23-20. Bengals just passed the Browns 17-16. Aaron Rodgers, great debut with the Steelers. He gets it back over the Jets 34-32. And the San Francisco 49ers open the season with a victory 17-13 over the Seahawks. From the major leagues of baseball yesterday, the Blue Jays dropped the rubber match against the Yankees 4-3 from New York. They'll the day off today before opening a set with Houston. Elsewhere, the Mariners, they win big over the Braves 18-2. Rays losing to Cleveland 2-1. Dodgers top the Orioles 5-2. And the Milwaukee Brewers beat the Pirates 10-2. From the NHL's training camp season, San Jose Sharks assistant general manager Ryan Clough announcing he is resigning from the position. And U.S. Open men's final yesterday, Carlos Alcaraz taking it in 4 sets over Jannik Sinner to take home the title. Coming up in hour 2 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Sportsnet's Mark Spector, and we'll check in with a new edition of In or Out. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. Stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Center. TNA Wrestling makes its explosive debut at the Expo Center on Friday, September 26th and Saturday, September 27th for back-to-back nights. Buy your tickets online today. Learn more about what's happening at the Expo Center by visiting the calendar of events online at edmontonexpocenter.com today.
God said, I need somebody to get up before dawn, milk cows, work all day in the fields, milk cows again, eat supper, go to town, and stay all night at a meeting of the school board. So God made a farmer.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. We are so thankful God made a farmer. For the month of September, it is our goal to feed 500 families. With every vehicle sold, we will feed a family of 4. So please help us reach our goal. Visit us online at northgategm.com.
Wing Wednesday at First Round. Whether you're coming for the first round, the last round, or a few rounds in between, they've got you covered. With half-price wings every Wednesday night. Half-price wings. Over 35 delicious flavors like Cajun salt and pepper, maple bacon, and Inferno wings. Now half price every Wednesday night. Wash them down with a cold pint of Canadian or Coors Light for only $5.75. Half price Wing Wednesdays at First Round in West Ed and now downtown. First Round, burgers, beer, sports.
Listen up, because you're not going to want to miss this. Right now is your chance to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
You ever done something you can't be forgiven for?
Crave is the exclusive home of HBO originals, including Tat, the new crime thriller from the creator of Mayor of Easttown.
I'm gonna take their money so we can have a better life.
Starring Emmy winner Mark Ruffalo.
If things go terribly wrong, people want to know why God let it happen.
And Emmy nominee Tom Pelfrey.
Have I almost done away? You never did anything like this.
Task, an HBO limited series. Stream now, only on Crave. Subscribe at crave.ca.
Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. Just after 8 o'clock in Edmonton, Kevin Karius Steel with you on Sports 1440. Time now for On the Mark, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. In September, Northgate is helping feed families. For every truck sold, they will feed a family of 4. Farmers and small business owners also get preferred rates in September. That's at Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. This truck's for you as we welcome in Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. Good morning, Spec.
Boys, what's going on?
It's Monday morning, baby. Wild weekend in the sports world. Wild.
Yeah, no tie for Eddie. No, you're not working today, or what's going on? You're a little underdressed for this program.
No, I'm working today, Spec. I got it in the car. I got to go film Elks Nation afterwards as well. So I didn't want to be suited and booted for this. So sometimes I got to dress down to Declan Kruger. You know what I mean?
Did you get did you get a new wardrobe for the upcoming hockey season, Spec?
Yeah, no, they got to finish giving like 5 suits to Gene Principe and 7 or 8 to Elliot Friedman and all the Dan Murphys, and if there's whatever's left over on the rack, they send out to me. But
you go to Value Village, Spec?
Yeah, I end up going to Value Village anyway. So.
After Gino and Murph and all the big nuts, Spec, just head over to Value and pick up something.
Oh, I'm surprised you're not offering him ties the way you offer me ties left and right.
Well, Spec, if you want a couple ties, I got some for you.
Oh, I got a lot of ties that like Bukauskas works out in nicer suits than I wear to the game. So
yeah. And you know what? Like when I see the younger guys when they're dressing with the skin tight pants and they're up to like 3 inches above the shoe, I'm like, I'm not gonna try to pull that off, Spec. Like, what are we doing here, eh?
Hey, the only trend I like that's worked for us guys is you're allowed to wear runners with suits now. You get clean, nice runners and wear them with suits, and apparently that's hip. I hate those old dress shoes, man. I'm wearing runners the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Just killing your feet at the arena.
Well, plus in the winter, cold.
Yeah, it's slippery. Yeah, I get it, man. Oh, I get it. Yeah. I want to ask you boys this, since we're on this topic, and you brought it up, KK, the skin tight pant. I can't pull that off my leg. I just can't do it. Too big, man. Seriously, my butt's too big. Can't do it. Where are you guys at in the no socks with the dress shoes?
I'm
Do you like that?
Yeah, well, because I very rarely wear socks. Like, and that's, you remember Dave Adolph, Spec?
Yep.
Dave Adolph used to coach at the U of S for 30 years. Never ever wore socks ever. He was like this is going back a long time. So
in Saskatchewan,
never wore socks. Yeah.
Wow.
So, I'm fine with it, to be honest with you. Well, Eddie, you're not, or
I don't like going barefoot in a shoe. A little sweaty to me, but
yeah. No. Wear socks for Pete's sakes. What are you doing?
There we go.
Hey, why don't we talk some football? Did the Elks play this weekend?
Yeah.
Boy, was there ever a game? Biggest win in the past 5 years, I'd say. What about you, Spec?
Is that what you'd say? Is that how you rank this one?
I would. I know, and I'm cognizant of the fact that they swept Calgary last year. They beat them 3 times, but circumstances were different with this team, with this regime, with the hype going into this game, in the crowd that showed up for this team, and to put on the performance they did and show up for that crowd. I think that this was a huge win.
Oh, listen, I mean, they're absolutely, like, I think they played themselves into a place where there was some opportunity here. And, they're hanging around. They're not out of this thing yet. But this game, but they just got beat up pretty good in Calgary. And you come home, you got a nice 28,000 crowd, a beautiful night. And, this was your chance to either take this thing north or here we go again type of thing. And they really controlled the ball game. They had opportunity. That's what I would say to you is I saw a team and an organization with opportunity, and they grabbed it and did the right thing with it. And we haven't seen a lot of that. We've seen a lot of close but no cigar. So now look at you. You're 2 points behind Winnipeg, which is, 3rd place in the West. They're right in the crossover game. Their game's going north, while BC's is actually kind of going south here. So, yeah, I love where they are heading into the last third of the season.
Yeah. Yeah, last third. I mean, everyone in the West has played 12 games. As you mentioned, Spec, right now 5-7. Elks are 5-7. BC's 5-7. Winnipeg's just 6-6. So and they got head to head yet with these two teams as well.
In Winnipeg, without their starting quarterback here moving forward, most likely.
Is that what you think? Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's just been. I mean,
you can't speak on a guy's health, but you put 2 and 2 together. This is now the third game that Zach Collaros has not finished, and they continue to say neck injury. Zach Collaros has a history of concussions. Back when I played with him in 2018, Spec, they were saying that if he was going to take a few more licks, he was not going to be well long-term neurologically. And that is 6 years ago, and he's taken many licks since. So it hasn't been pretty this past season for Zach. I feel for the guy. Milt Stiegel on the TSN broadcast point blankly said Zach Collaros should not play another football game in his life.
Ooh, I didn't hear that. That's pretty big. Football guys know, right? You guys have all been through this and don't love to hear that. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of Justin Rankin, Spec? I didn't know this, and I saw this stat last night. The first running back in Edmonton history since 1977, and that was Jim Germany back then, that ripped off a 90-yard touchdown run.
Is that right, Jim?
Unreal.
Any conversation where you can use the name Jim Germany, I'm okay with.
What a beauty he was, man.
I grew up, he wore number 25, man, and he was a good back. Listen, like they've developed a star player in the CFL. This guy is a star player now in the CFL. I'm not sure if he's not the best back in the league. And, when's the last time we talked about that, where they developed a player here that's controlling ball games. I mean, he rips off 2 long runs for touchdowns. It opens up the passing game. You don't have to pass for 290 yards or 400 yards or whatever when you got a back doing what he's doing. Fajardo can play the patient game that he played the other night. Like he didn't throw a bunch of 50-yard passes, but the defense was so respectful of Rankin that when they needed 6, it was easy to get 8. So listen, that's well-rounded football right there. When you got a running back and an offensive line that's opening holes and a running back that's taking advantage, that's winning football for sure.
Hey, Eddie, was he released at the start of last year? Rankin was released,
and they
in
brought
camp.
him right back.
Brought him back in camp.
But I believe he was a slot back at training camp. Okay. He didn't practice as a running back then.
Wow. Him and Leak were neck and neck when the season started.
Yeah.
And that is not the case anymore.
No, he is a solidified superstar. I would say he is the best back in the CFL. Take the bias out of it. Brady Oliveira had carried that torch for the past few years, but clearly there's some regression in the Winnipeg offense this year, and there's just a lack of willingness to give Brady the ball over there. I want to circle back, though, and just hammer home again why I believe that this is such a monumental win, because I'm just so happy for the fans, for the crowd, because there is a hunger, there is an appetite. Kevin and I spoke on it earlier, having both been in the building on Saturday evening. You can tell that people want to pop off for this Elks team. They really want to jump on board. And for once, this team finally showed up in the moment. And there was some nice festivities going on leading up to this Labor Day rematch. There was the Spirit of Edmonton brunch, which had a really strong showing. The tailgate was really amplified for this game. So it was nice to see the team compliment the fans by giving them the product on the field that they did. It was long overdue. Yeah. And it's only going to stir up more of a hunger for people to want to come out. And they play now on September the 27th against the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Wow.
And if Edmonton takes care of business, they have 2 games out east, Hamilton and Toronto. Even if you take care of business in just one of those games, you come back home, it is going to be a zoo that Saturday night, late September.
Well, I think we've seen this for, listen, when your team isn't winning, it doesn't matter what you're doing off the field. And they've had a bunch of events, and they've had some good crowds, and they've done this, they've done that. And all the people walk out of the building looking at the team going, not only did we lose tonight, but it doesn't look like we're going to win anytime soon. And they've turned that around. Chris Morris and Ed Hervey and everybody involved in this thing. Like, now you walk out of that building and you go, hey, not only did we win tonight, but this looks like a team with a chance. Like we're going to win next week too. And it's just fans have to, fans are going to give you a lot of leeway, man. People love the uniform and they love the logo. And we all grew up in Edmonton, and, the Elks or / Eskimos. There's always going to be a special place in your heart here.
Yeah.
But eventually you got to give them some belief, and they've managed that. They've done that. They've got a nice looking team. They're still 5-7. That's not great, but you believe they can go into Toronto and win that game, and in Hamilton. And I don't care what Saskatchewan's record is when they get back here. You'll give them a run, and it's 9/10 of it, Eddie, is belief and realistic hope that, you know what, our team can win. And that's an accomplishment. They got you there now. The next step is to win games, get over 500, be a powerhouse.
Mm-hmm. Mark Spector with us on Sports 1440. Hey, Spec, I wanted to get your thoughts just on the passing of Ken Dryden. Otwell Okotoks-Oiler also texted in just now and said, hey, KK, another footnote on Ken Dryden was the color commentator with Al Michaels in the 1980 Olympics, the Miracle on Ice game. That's from Triple O, but we touched on it a little bit with Low Tide. This guy was, he was just different. No one had seen a player like this, smarts and, being way different than how players were back in the 70s for sure.
Oh my God. Right. He leaves the Montreal Canadiens and goes to law school. They said that he carried a briefcase around, because he was writing the game and he was, he was studious. And you're right. That didn't fit into a late mid-70s NHL dressing room, man. Are you kidding me?
They just thought he was weird, right?
Well, they thought he was a little bit weird. They did.
He wasn't firing darts with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say to you that Randy Gregg was a bit the same guy.
Absolutely.
Randy Gregg was a budding, medical, a budding doctor in a room in the early 80s that wasn't filled with a bunch of, highly educated guys.
You can say it. You can call us fade as fade. It's okay, Spec. Meatheads.
Anyway, the game turns out to be, in terms of hockey literature, it's a top 2 or 3, book ever written by a guy that played. And then you look at his record, Kev. What did he play? 8 years, won 6 cups, couple Vezinas, a couple Conn Smythes. It's unbelievable what he accomplished in a relatively short career. So becomes a politician, becomes one of the great speakers. He's a special cat, man. He was a special cat. And he didn't leave much on the table. He got a lot done in his life. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Even think of 72 Summit Series, right, Spec?
Yeah, right. He was just, yes. Did he find himself fortunately behind one of the great teams of all time? Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. If he'd end up playing for the Chicago Blackhawks, would he be the same guy? I don't know, but the circumstances are what they are. He became the Habs goalie for one of the great runs of all time. We all grew up watching him. He had the iconic stance. He had the iconic mask. He was an excellent goalie. And then he, after hockey ended, he did not fade away. He became a very prominent Canadian in a lot of good ways. So Ken Dryden was a pretty cool cat, man. Half hockey player, half writer. Holy cow. Not bad.
So rookie camp for the Oilers starts this week, Spec. What's your number one storyline, would you say, going into camp? Is it Ike Howard? What is it? What are you thinking?
Yeah, probably. Let's face it, guys like Bo Akey, welcome to the pros, but we're not going to see him up here for a while. He's got a journey. His journey's just beginning, and there, is going to the minors. I'm quite interested to see a few of these guys. Who's the kid from who's the German guy? I don't even know his name. I'm interested to see him. Samanaki or whatever his name is.
You're not talking about Samanaki, or you're not talking about Tomasek, are you?
No. There's a young German kid that they signed as well. You'll see his name in the list. I'm interested to see how good he is.
Josh Szymanski.
Thank you, Josh Szymanski. He's a big kid out of Germany. Edmonton's done okay with big kids out of Germany lately, if I'm not incorrect. So let's see. Let's see what he's got. Let's see. There's a young Finnish kid too that's interesting. But yeah, Ike Howard's the one. that could play 82 games this year if it goes well, or he could go to the AHL if it doesn't go well. So to me, Ike Howard's, I feel like there's a spot on this team for Matt Savoy, almost for sure. It's Ike Howard that's probably got a little more to prove. Savoy's got a year pro under his belt, boys, and Ike Howard's never played a pro game, so they're not in the same spot right now.
The other guy that I want to see, because I've never seen him play live, is the young goaltender Samuel Janssen.
Sure.
So he's a 21-year-old. This is a guy, that they signed, and I just want to see how he adjusts here. How's that sound?
That's fair. Like, I think, when you blow off all your draft capital trying to win, and I'm not criticizing Ken Holland, every GM with a cup contender trades away their draft picks at the deadline. That's just how the system works. So when Stan Bowman takes over this team and he's got no draft capital and he doesn't have much in the minors, I think he's done a pretty good job of going out to Europe and different places and finding guys. Like, he makes a trade and gets Ike Howard, for Sam O'Reilly. And they go into Germany and get Szymanski, and they find a Swedish goalie. And I think they're like, these are all swings. We're going to find out if they're hits or misses now as we watch these kids play. But I think he's given himself a chance. They don't have first round, second round picks. Okay, I get it. But they're bringing some interesting guys in. I give the organization credit for not, for trying to renew the pipeline, right? Trying to renew the pipeline. You can't just get older and older. You got to bring in some young guys that can play, hopefully.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Spec, as always, good stuff. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Maybe see you this week.
Yes, you'll see me this week. Sounds good, Kev. See you, Eddie.
Thanks for the
Take
warning.
care, Spec.
Mark Spector, Rogers Sportsnet. On the mark. Brought to you powered by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. This truck's for you. Another guy, Eddie, that looking forward to seeing. Saw him a little bit, I think, at camp last year. Connor Clattenburg. This is the guy. He's a project. He is a guy that is, he would be a fourth liner down the road if he progresses. Like, no guarantees here. This is a guy that he's at the fight tooth and nail for everywhere he's got.
What's the size like? What's the body like?
He's a 6'1" or 6'2"er, 200-pound guy. I think he's 6'2", 200 pounds. Played in the OHL. He started in Sioux, and then he was traded to Flint. So played one game, I think, in Bakersfield last year at the end of the year. So he's 20 years old. He's an 05 birthday. So this is a guy, again, this isn't a top 6 forward. This isn't a top 9 forward probably, but you never know. These are always guys that you're looking for, maybe a bit of a late bloomer, and that you're not going to get cheated on any shift that he.
Oh no, and that's important now.
Well, so that's
everything.
So like I'm not saying that this is like a like a Kelly Buckberger or something like that, but this is a guy that what you're going to get. And he's going to give you everything that he has every shift out there.
I'm excited, and this isn't a flyer type of a guy, but just Trent Frederick to see how he is at camp and how he produces this season, because we know he was banged up last year and there's little to be desired. I'm excited to see how he comes out.
Hacksaw says, good morning, boys. The game was also a mini series back in the day. That was Ken Dryden, the game. Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah. We'll get to some more of your texts. 833-401-1440. Lenny's talking about Kenny Dryden when we come back. Kevin Karius, Eddie Steele, Duke of Delburne on Sports 1440, streaming on YouTube.
Mr. Rooter goes for a fall stroll.
Ah, the beauty of fall. These leaves are crunchier than that calcified shower head I replaced this morning. And the earthy yellow oranges and browns are as colorful as the water hair I pulled out of the shower drain.
Ugh, Mr. Rooter, can we talk about something else?
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you didn't like fall. You look about as sour as the sewer line I unclogged yesterday.
For a plumber you'll truly fall for, call Mr. Rooter.
Want some good news? St. Albert Dodge is holding the biggest sale of the year on their in-stock Ram 1500 Sports. Every single one on the lot is discounted by a whopping $14,000. Yeah, 14 grand. And St. Albert Dodge has the best selection in Alberta. Over 90 Ram 1500 sports to choose from with great packages, including the Night Edition and GT models, all $14,000 off the ticket price. Get down there and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Ugh, seriously, another door knocker? I really want to go solar, but these high-pressure tactics are exhausting.
And their prices are unbelievable. Before we do anything, let's call Great Canadian Solar.
There's a better way to go solar. Great Canadian Solar provides honest advice and fair pricing to save you from overpaying. They're easy to deal with and will never put pressure on you to buy. As a trusted local business for over 15 years, Great Canadian Solar will support you in your solar journey. Visit greatcanadiansolar.com and call today to get started.
I'm a little hungry.
I've got Booster Balls from Booster Juice.
Booster what now?
Booster Balls. They're little protein bites packed with nutrients. Chewy, crunchy, yummy, and new flavors all the time. Like this little guy. The new mint chocolate Booster Ball. Peppermint, cocoa, coconut, peanut butter, maple syrup, all rolled up into a delightful little bite-sized snack.
Why am I just hearing about this now?
I don't know.
Can I have one?
No.
Booster Juice. Canadian born. Blending since 1999.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Edmonton sports fans stay informed with Sports 1440. Stream us. Listen to us on the AM dial. However you consume this radio station, thanks for listening.
Is your company drowning in paperwork and administrative tasks? Do you need more data to make better decisions? Nectar.io is your company's all-in-one solution for fleet and materials management, safety, time cards, and GIS-based project management. Now is the time to capture and transform field, site, and shop data into boardroom-level business intelligence, all with one login. Visit Nectar.io to book a demo today. Nectar.io, your business made better.
It's happened again, and construction season is in full swing. Job delayed, money lost, and clients disappointed because your rigging failed and it wasn't inspected. Don't let this happen to you. Have your lifting slings, fittings, hoisting tools, and safety harnesses checked with Titan Supply. Titan Supply offers certified on-site and in-house rigging inspections and service, so they can repair it, replace it, and recertify it. Titan Supply in Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary, and at titansupply.ca. Lift, dig, haul.
Farm, ranch, acreage, or lake lot. They're here to help at Bashaw Concrete Products. Family owned and operated for 60 years. They continue to provide the best products and service, period. Call now for your free quote on the highest quality ready mix and gravel, a new septic tank, or an outhouse pad and tank, plus precast cattle water pads, garage sumps, and more. Call 780-372-3854 for prompt delivery. Bashaw Concrete Products. 780-372-3854. BashawConcrete.com.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 824 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Eddie Steele with you, and the Duke of Delburne on Sports 1440. Text 833-401-1440. It's from your buddy Lenny Andrechuk. Lenny texts in, hey, KK, Eddie. Lenny here. Story about Ken Dryden. Paul Ackerman and I. Now, Paul Ackerman, now there's the village idiot of all time. Back in the global days, January 2007. Went to Montreal on business. Yeah, I'm sure it was business, Lenny. Went to a Habs game. Bought 2 tickets from a scalper. We were a couple minutes late. Walked in. There was a ceremony going on. We weren't aware there would be. Vladimir Tretiak was speaking. It was Ken Dryden's jersey retirement.
Cool.
Special indeed, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, well, of course you guys wouldn't know what the hell was going on.
When you say, yeah, of course, business trip. That's funny. Yeah, we got you, Lenny.
Yeah. Listen, I've known Lenny and Ackerman for a long time. Ackerman was, he ended up was the sales manager too at Global, was sales for many years. those guys didn't do anything. It was they were done every day at 11 or 12. It was a 3 martini lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fridays right over to there's right by Global. There used to be this I think it turned into O2s or something.
Okay.
But it was something way before that, like 25 years ago. Those guys were in there all the client call. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. NFL. Let's talk a little NFL from yesterday. Storylines. We talked Daniel Jones. Even Pittsburgh with Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers, 4 touchdowns.
Was
What a showing.
Was there a game that you went, because there really wasn't like an upset. If you're in a loser pool, I'm pretty sure everyone's okay.
Who'd you pick in the pool in our survival?
Well, so winners, Denver. I had Denver.
I took the Arizona.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Get them out
Duke,
of the way.
who did you take?
I was on Arizona.
Yeah.
I believe, and I didn't check if they were all in. I think our Fantasy Frenzy Survivor pool, which we had, Eddie was the 50th and final entry, so $250 raised for Socktober this year, which is a great cause that all of us in here at Stinger in on every year.
Yeah.
$250 the winner. I think it was a perfect weekend.
Wow.
I don't think a single person lost out week 1.
Well, the only one that I'm thinking possibly, and not in ours, but maybe someone would have taken New England.
Yeah, I think that's a maybe over the Raiders. I think that would be a possibility, but there were so many other, options. Obviously, there's 16 games total in the week, but even going back, there were a couple people that took Philly on Thursday. Yesterday, vast majority were Broncos, lots of Cardinals, a couple Bengals, I think. So maybe that was the biggest sweat of the day. Was the Bengals nearly blown it against the Browns. But yeah, I think it was a perfect weekend on the survivor pool front.
Do you know what your buddy CJ Stroud said, Duke, about his Houston Texan teammates? Do you know what he called them?
Bums?
No.
Scrubs?
Lollygaggers.
Oh boy.
Just like from Bull Durham.
That can't be
You guys
good.
are a bunch of lollygaggers.
That can't be good.
Drop the old lollygag.
Yeah,
huh?
lollygag. You know what that makes you? Lollygaggers.
Don't want to be a lollygagger.
Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, 14-9 there.
Now, what's worse, being a lollygagger or a tryhard?
Can you be a tryhard in professional sports?
Yeah, man. There's
I'm not
guys-
talking
yeah.
during practice and stuff. Like in a game, you're supposed to be trying hard. You're a paid athlete.
Yeah, in a game for sure. I feel you do, but there are still guys who are just you're doing too much.
Yeah.
You're doing too much.
Kickers always, they don't get when you're not kicking well, you're gone. So there's a couple kickers here this week could be
on the
gone.
hot seat.
Like
In
Koo,
Cleveland.
Koo in Atlanta,
Young Ming.
a Cleveland kicker. Anyone else? I'm trying to think if there was one more.
Man, it's wild. Like watching football again, like having a full slate of NFL. I don't know if it's just me watching it, being the one with the PTSD. But man, these guys in the collisions, they run so fast and throw their bodies around.
Yeah,
it's wild, man. Even watching the Elks game, just live speed, these boys are out there flying around, looking to kill anybody with speed. Yeah. I don't miss it. I can say that. I don't completely miss it like that. I miss the boys. I miss the trophies. I miss the moments, the laughs. But I don't miss those collisions, man.
We just watched. That was Garrett Wilson that got lit up, right?
Yes.
In the Jets Pittsburgh game.
Yeah, where he got led right into Ramsey.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, big collisions, man. These guys play fast.
I never got to watch any of the tennis on the weekend. The men's final, Alcaraz beat Sinner. So
how many sets did that go?
I think it was 4.
I know Alcaraz made quick work of Djokovic. 3 straight.
Yeah. Anything else NFL wise catch your eye, Eddie, over the weekend?
I said earlier, the Detroit game, they were pretty flat. I thought they'd come out with a little more pizzazz just with the season that they had. And I know last year, but the culture and everything, and it's only week 1. I understand that, but I thought again that they would have put up a little more of a dogfight, a little more rugged effort against Green Bay.
So is that because you lose both coordinators, and how long does that, I think it's only happened 3 or 4 times in NFL history where you've lost both offensive and defensive coordinators going into the season.
That's a tough bounce back. That's a really tough shake back. That's a big change.
So, like, how long is it? Like, when you come in, like, say you lose you lose your D coordinator. So, how long, for you, when you were playing, did that happen? And how did it, how long did it take you to get back into the groove that you wanted to be?
Well, for sure. I can speak on defensively. I've had many different D coordinators year over year, but the biggest change would have been 2015. We win the Grey Cup under Chris Jones. Really, really good defense. Really good defense.
And who was DC?
And then 2016, he was our DC.
So he stayed.
He was Chris Jones. But then 2016, Chris Jones goes to Sask, Jason Moss's head coach, and then we had Mike Benavides as our D coordinator. Totally different philosophy, more of a bend, don't break, whereas Chris Jones was in your face. We're going to mangle you, and there ain't nothing you're going to do about it type mentality. Benny, it was a lot different. He was a lot gentler of a coach in some ways, and we were not the same. We didn't click the same. Hell of a guy, hell of a man, Mike Benavides is. I really respect him a ton as a man. Got a good relationship, but defensively, we weren't the same. There was quite a drop-off from year to the next year.
So how did you, totally different people, different personalities. When you played, were you the guy that said, okay, you talk about team identity and somehow the players or the team represents that from the coach, or they mold themselves after? So did you find that you guys weren't maybe as assertive then?
For sure. Absolutely. And we still had essentially the same cast of characters in the locker room, but it starts from the top down, right? And it always water trickles south, always from north to south. And it's just coaching. It starts from the head coach to the DC, and so on and so forth. And it just wasn't the same. Play calling wasn't the same. Expectations weren't the same. You can talk about it. Everybody talks about, you have your key quotes that coaches say and all the cliches, greatness and all this. You can talk about it, but when it comes down to it, you got to hold each other to a certain level of accountability. And again, that starts from the top down, and it was just not the same as Chris Jones run defense. And part of it is just the play calling aspect. Chris Jones, a lot of press man coverage. Benny had a lot of guys sitting off in zones and things like that, a lot of off coverage. So it's just a different philosophy, and you do inherit that mentality from your coach without a question.
Did you guys have a core leadership group? Because you're at the end here, you've been in the league several years by this point. I'm sure you're part of it. Did that leadership group, the core guys on defense especially, did they change their mentality? Did you
No, and it was the same core. It was JC, it was me, Odell, Mondo. It was, like I said, there was not much of a difference between 2015 when we won it and 2016. The roster, it wasn't really different at all, other than Brandon Zylstra came on the scene and popped off in 2016, right, which was a positive. I firmly believe, and I tell people this to this day, had Chris Jones and his staff not have left after the 2015 Grey Cup, we would have probably competed for another 2 or 3 Grey Cups just because of the talent that we had on that team and the way that we played and executed. We were dogs. We were hungry dogs. And it started from the top. Chris Jones instilled a certain sense of fear in us because, damn it, your job was on the line. Every moment you were in that facility, your job was on the line, and he was looking to replace you. So it just wasn't the same that next year in 2016. Jason Moss, again, great coach. That was
He's
the
just
year
starting.
Yeah, he was. I was going to say that was the year when he just got the first opportunity, when he popped off himself, couldn't really control his emotions on the sideline.
What a difference it is now.
What a difference. And he's a heck of a leader. He was then, he is now. But again, our mentality was not the same under Chris Jones as it was under Chris Jones. And it's the coaching. It matters. It really does matter, because we had the same guys in the locker room. But again, it's when you're spoken to a certain way behind closed doors. You know how coaches talk to you behind closed doors, not in front of the media, not in front of even the GM. It's, a tight, intimate, closed door. And Chris Jones, we would say some things like, defensively, man, we had bounties. Now, I'm not going to hesitate to say it. Like, we We were dogs. We were trying to kill
$100 of my own
we
money.
were trying to kill quarterbacks. We were trying to end quarterbacks. We were trying to get on to the second string quarterback as fast as possible. Like, so that type of mentality, that's only a certain few type of coaches I've ever had that mentality. Chris Jones was like that. Jason Moss and Mike Benavides weren't. There's a difference.
Joe McGrath, slap shot, Eddie. A bounty? You can't put a bounty on a guy's. I just did. Never mind.
Exactly, man. Mad competition. And that's what it's about, is just competing. For practice, for example, we went ones versus ones only and always with Chris Jones. In every other coach I've had, you go ones versus B team or the scout team, and it's a lot lax of a pace. It's easy. Chris Jones, man, 1v1s, we're competing. We are out here competing every moment we get.
Maybe you can't answer this question, but just talking about Jason Moss, like for him to settle in and be, because I mean, we all knew how fiery he was as a player, and then as a coach,
initially as a coach.
Was it Danny Machocha who would have said, you know what, just you gotta, or did he just evolve?
You live and learn, right? You grow. I think even just how many years did he do here as head coach? 3, 16, 17, 18, I believe. And then even 19, I think he was here. But you learn over those years, and he tapered down and calmed himself even over his tenure here with the Double E before he went to Montreal. I think in Montreal, he really harnessed and sharpened himself as a head coach based off of his experiences from here in Edmonton, because there was a lot of learning and growth here. But I think his evolution, you could see the path just from begin to end here as the head coach, where he improved and adjusted.
The other thing too, so he was 2016 to 2019 here. Probably what helped him the most after here, he went to Regina and was just the offensive coordinator.
That for sure.
So he had 2 years there.
Aspect.
Yeah, and now he probably learned a lot.
See it from a different vantage, because he had been an O coordinator in the past. Finally, you get the head man job, and then to take a step back to being a coordinator, slightly humbling, and you learn some more things for sure about yourself.
When we come back, we'll go in or out with Eddie Steele. The Duke has fired off some wicked questions here. That's coming up right after the break. Kevin Karius, Eddie Steele, the Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick, and Sam the Record Man on Sports 1440, and we're streaming on YouTube.
Are you looking for safe and professional travel options? Look no further than Silent Rides, one of Alberta's premier bus charter companies. Whether your group is big or small, Silent Rides has you covered. We offer state-of-the-art motor coaches, first-class service, and affordable rates. Get your quote today. For more information, call 1-877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
$1 plus tax for a smooth, small premium roast coffee at McDonald's? That means rich, full-bodied flavor at a price that's just as satisfying. Must be McCafe. Enjoy a small McCafe premium roast coffee for just $1 plus tax at participating McDonald's in Canada. Prices exclude delivery.
That's the sound of Harley you've been dreaming about. And this is the sound of opportunity knocking, and it's coming from Harley-Davidson of Edmonton.
Our end of season sale is on, and we're clearing the floor with unbelievable prices on a huge selection of pre-owned bikes. This is your moment to own the legend.
Find your dream machine at Harley-Davidson of Edmonton on the Yellowhead Trail, locally owned and operated by the Kent family, and celebrating 45 years.
At Fountain Tire, we're fluent in saving you money.
Fluent?
Yes, we've mastered the language of deals. Like right now, you can save up to 25% off select tires and up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires. Plus, $50 off $150 service when you buy those tires. All until October 18th.
I'm sorry, I don't speak deals.
Spend less, save more when you buy round black things from us.
Oh, got it.
Restrictions apply. Book your appointment online today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Every weekend, listen right here for live broadcasts of Toronto Blue Jays baseball. Sports 1440, proud to be the home of the Blue Jays.
What's your vision for your community? At Vision Credit Union, ours is a thriving rural Alberta where kids have team jerseys, firefighters have the gear they need, and community kitchen fridges stay full. It's why we give back millions every year through grants, donations, sponsorships, and profit shares. Because when your community succeeds, we all do. Bank somewhere with Vision. Vision Credit Union. We see banking differently. Learn more at visioncu.ca.
Are you relying on credit cards to make ends meet? Are you making just the minimum payments and carrying a balance month after month? It's time to break free from the debt spiral and take control of your finances. I'm Parveen Middleton, licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. During a free consultation, I can explain all your debt relief options and stop your credit card bills from piling up. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 841 in Edmonton. Just got the old release from Connor Hood from the Alberta Golden Bears. They're home to the football team, home to Calgary on Friday night at Footfield. Hopefully they get a good crowd. Bears haven't beat Calgary at home since what year do you think? 2008.
Oh, I was going to say 06?
08. Yeah.
Wow.
Eli Hetlinger needs 35 yards to become the fifth Bears quarterback to reach 5,000 yards in his career. Blair Zahara. I remember they used to call him Zeus. The guy had a rocket for an arm too. Yeah, it's back in the day, just 20 years ago or whatever. Yeah, he could throw it. He could sling it. So, time now for Are You In or Out?
Okay, you know what? Moving too fast. Bottom line, are you in or are you out? In or out of what? No time for questions, just action. In or out? Well, then I'm out. I'm sorry, Jet. Actually, you're already in.
Are you in or are you out?
On Sports 1440.
I thought you would go, I'm in, Bob. We would have had a really cool moment, but you kind of ruined the whole thing.
All right, good letterbox. Rewind to Saturday night from Commonwealth Stadium. The Edmonton Elks season-saving win 31-19 over the Stampeders. Justin Rankin, 200 yards on the ground, 2 scores. If the Double League ends up sneaking into the playoffs in any fashion, it will come with Rankin at the helm, and as a result, he's going to be taking on this season.
I love the story, too. Maybe, you can't ask for a better game than he had on Saturday night. He was electric. I'm just going to go out. There's just too many guys ahead of him right now, and it's always a quarterback, it seems. It's very rarely, it's few and far between when it's a running back or a receiver. So just for that matter, I would say that he's out on my books. I got him ranked, he's 4th in league rushing right now, 688 yards. It's going to be, Bo Levi, or it's going to be, it could be Nick Arbuckle, the way things are going, the way he's flinging it right now too. So, and the other guy, it could be Trevor Harris if Saskatchewan continues. So I'm going to be out on that just because it's usually a quarterback and there's probably too many guys ahead of him right now.
Yeah, I got to be with you, KK. As much as I do love the story and see the success that the offense has generated through Rank the Tank, you just look at the league-wide stats. Kevin nailed it. It's already going to be a quarterback award. It always is year after year. But then rushing-wise, Rankin's still 4th in the league. James Butler leads the league with 945 rushing yards. Rankin only has 688. So he's about 250 behind. So there's a lot of work to be done there. He'll be this team's MOP, but he won't win league MOP.
Justin Rankin has over 1,000 scrimmage yards because he has over 500 yards through the air, as well as his 600 plus that he's at in the rushing category, which is just 4th in the league. You're right. But also on the touchdown side, 6 touchdowns. That's a 3rd also behind Butler and Mills, but he has 2 receiving touchdowns as well. And this is where I think it gets a little more dicey, is that in the CFL, the award is most outstanding player, which is best player, is a simple way of putting it. It's not an MVP award. If it were an MVP award, I think his case would be that much stronger because the offense, if he's not involved, has been close to non-existent essentially all year long. When the Elks are looking good and having chances to win games and winning games, it has largely come on the back of his performances, running the ball, catching the ball out of the backfield, and being a dynamic playmaker. So I hear your guys' arguments, but I think it's contingent on the fact the Elks continue to showcase him and use him in this capacity. I think he climbs up some of these statistical boards as the season progresses towards its conclusion. And if they can get in, I think he would have a very strong case to be in the mix, if nothing else. Down south, NFL Week 1 wrapping up tonight with Monday Night Football, but the first full Sunday slate is in the books, and I think it was pretty typical Week 1 football, a little on the sloppy side, defenses with a little bit of an edge across the board. But if we're looking maybe at the most positive surprise from yesterday's slate of games, I think it is with the Indianapolis Colts' first Week 1 win since 2011 for this team. And it came with a surprisingly potent offense. Daniel Jones, Jonathan Taylor didn't even essentially have to play the second half of the game. Tyler Warren looking very good, the new star tight end. So I think the Colts offense on collective was the most positive surprise from yesterday's games.
I'm out. Okay. I'm out. Oh, I guess from yesterday's games. Yeah. Oh, I was going to jump the gun. I was going to say, the most positive story is going to be the Minnesota Vikings 31-21 victory against the Chicago Bears.
Don't worry, Eddie. We'll talk Monday. We'll talk Monday night game later in the segment.
But since I jumped, since I'm a little bit preemie here, I'll be in with you, Duke.
Really? So you really think that that's going to happen tonight? They're going to win by 10?
31-21, pal.
Yeah.
Book it.
I said it right off the top, so I'm going to go in, I guess, Duke. I mean, just because of what happened when Daniel Jones was named the starter over Anthony Richardson. I mean, man, that got some serious back. Like, people were not happy.
They weren't, but Anthony Richardson stunk too. He stunk.
No, but
you could throw it better, KK.
I know I couldn't, but Daniel Jones, I mean, we know his past history. The only thing that I can think of, or I shouldn't say, the number one thing that comes to mind with Daniel Jones is that long 80-yard run that he's got, and no one's sniper,
pick, yeah,
just a total sniper,
turf
boom.
Monster.
So that's the thing that I remember about. But so you sort of, I'm not saying I was cheering for the guy, but whenever a guy is just down on the canvas and he gets up like this and has a good game, and
it's good to see.
It's fine. So
good to see.
I'll go in, Duke. I'll be in.
Yeah, 272 yards passing to, just checking here, 7 different receivers catching the ball, anywhere from a 12-yard grab or 2 grabs from Josh Downs. Michael Pittman, 80 yards. Jones also rushed for 2 touchdows. Those were from very short yardage situations. Well, right? Threw for 1.
Oh, I thought he threw for 3.
Threw for 1, rushed for 2. And so he was the only one that scored. Pittman was the receiver, obviously, on that. That was their touchdowns offensively on the board for the day. So it was a good day for Daniel Jones, but I think I might have underestimated this Colts team a little bit because defensively they're pretty good. They have some the new additions, some guys that are entering first, second years that can maybe be playmakers defensively, but they don't maybe have a superstar on the offense. Jonathan Taylor would be definitely the closest, but like receiver wise, but they're pretty solid, right? Pittman, very reliable. Tyler Warren had a great debut. Alec Pierce, Josh Downs, Adonai Mitchell in his second year. The Colts might be more potent on offense than I thought, but also the Dolphins defense I don't think is very good. So take it with a grain of salt.
And you know who could get some love here too yesterday after the win, and we discussed it, is Geno Smith. Give Geno a little bit of love here because they go in on the road. Raiders, no one's really given them much of a chance here at all. And they beat a team that a lot of people thought could be a 10-11 win team, right, in New England.
For sure. And I think if we're looking for other positive spins on the day, Jacksonville looked pretty good against Carolina. Both teams in the Pittsburgh, New York game, I think, had something to prove. Rodgers was really good. And the Jets, Justin Field, looking like he might keep them more competitive than a lot of people, myself included, maybe initially thought. But, hey, it's week 1, so let's let's try and keep most of our emotions in check
Mhm.
as we can. The other side of the coin, I think there were a lot more negative surprises yesterday across the slate, and I think top of the table would be the play of second-year quarterback at an out-real rookie season, Bo Nix, and how he managed the football against a Tennessee Titans team that just finished picking first overall.
Sure. I'll go into two interceptions, fumble, 176 yards passing. Tennessee's not that good of a team. Denver still wins 20-12 thanks to their defense, I guess you could say. But yeah, I'll go in. Bo Nix had a bad game. Needs to be a lot better.
Ooh, I got one I think that's juicier.
Who's
I'm
stinkier?
out. Stinkier is Joe Burrow, Cincinnati
Burrow.
Bengals.
Ooh.
14 of 23, 113 passing yards, one tug. T. Higgins, 3 of 33. Jamar Chase, 2 of 26. Yuck. These guys are supposed to be amongst the best in the league. Joe Burrow is supposed to be a gunslinger in the league. 113 passing yards? Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Didn't turn the ball over, though.
Leading receiver was Higgins with those aforementioned 33 yards. Not particularly inspiring. And then Chase Brown on the ground, 43 yards on 22 carries, 2 yards per.
Ooh, a juicy 2-yard per
Yeah,
av.
that's not going to win you very many offensive players of the week, I don't think. But if we're looking at a few other negatives, I mean, take your pick. We talked a little bit about Houston's offensive line. I thought that was bad. Both, but like the game last night was a classic. Neither defense played good at all. And I think if we're looking, and the Bills defense came in, people expecting it to be a lot better, but they clearly still really struggle against the run. Derrick Henry could be spun as a positive surprise because it seems year after year people keep saying Father Time's going to catch up with him and he's about to fall off. Doesn't seem like that's going to happen anytime soon anyway. And then also Atlanta, they lost the game. They were in it, but their run game, you have one of the best backs in the league and you still can't run the ball to save your life. The leader in the game rushing wise was Baker Mayfield with 39 yards. That's wild. That's not very good for either team because Bucky Irving obviously really good for the Bucks as well.
And the Niners barely won. They could have lost.
The Niners
barely won.
My biggest thing there, Ricky Pearsall did not score a touchdown. Heartbreaker.
Had a pretty good game though.
Yeah, I mean, he scored. Had the one grab that kind of set up the to secure the game down the one sideline. So that was good for him for sure. Tonight, Eddie's Minnesota Vikings in Chicago. 8 divisional matchups in week 1 this year. This will be the final of those 8. Road teams, pretty good so far in these contests. JJ McCarthy, if he can play like a, quote, poor man's, end quote, Sam Darnold, the Vikings will still make the playoffs this season.
Ooh. Poor man Sam Darnold. I don't like the sounds of that one bit.
Sam Darnold played really well last year until the final 2 weeks of the season and then in the playoffs. I don't like the Vikings are such a well-built roster. They don't need JJ McCarthy to do anything spectacular.
No, they don't.
Will they maybe lose a game or two because it comes down to a final drive or something where they would need your quarterback to step up and make the big play, and maybe he doesn't necessarily have that in his bag or not yet as a second-year player, first year actually seeing action? Maybe, but I think this roster is so good top to bottom on both sides of the ball that they're still a playoff team regardless.
Oh, keep it going, dude.
The Bears.
Keep it going, dude.
The Bears.
Yeah, turn your mic on there.
The Bears.
So, the Vikings, they don't need JJ to be a gunslinger and throw for 300 and a million touchdowns. They also can't have him turn the ball over and throw those egregious turnovers. If he can manage the games, get the ball to his playmakers, Jefferson, Addison, I know he's not around right now, tight end. If he can get the balls to his playmakers, they'll be okay because their defense under Coach Brian Flores, they're monsters. They will be this year's reincarnation of the Purple People Eaters. Yeah, you like that, huh?
Obviously, I'm going to be out because I think the Bears will win tonight. I've got them.
Well, I think the Bears are going to win tonight too, but that doesn't mean the Vikings aren't going to make the playoffs.
Both of you guys got the Bears, huh? What's the bet?
Nothing.
What's the bet?
Well, it's my pick in our head-to-head, which by the way, I am up 3-0 after.
No. I took Buffalo.
Yeah, -1.5. They won
What?
by
It
one.
was 1.5? I thought it was 1.
No, it wasn't. We rewind the tape, Kevin. We obviously said what the spread was.
I thought it was -1.
Bears are plus 1.5 tonight as home division.
And you're taking the
dogs.
Bears?
I'm taking the Bears tonight.
well.
Yeah.
So obviously I'm out. I just don't want to see Minnesota make the playoffs.
Tough division. Really tough division.
It's a cold world out here.
Don't worry, Eddie. I'm on your side. And Eddie, I
right.
tried as hard as I wanted to get a Vikings guest on with us this morning while you were in here to tee up the game, but between travel and unavailability, just didn't quite work
Pretty
out.
weak that you couldn't get JJ, their quarterback.
Yeah,
on.
sorry.
It's pretty weak. Dude.
Try again. And keep this in mind. JJ McCarthy, even in his criticisms at Michigan, what could he do? Manage the game, protect the ball, and get it in the hands of his playmakers. That's what he's going to have to do in Minnesota.
And sneaky athletic. He'll rush for about 500 yards this year.
You think
Watch.
so?
Yeah, I'm calling it.
All right, there's Eddie's bold take ahead of his team season getting underway tonight. Wrapping up the segment, another season of fantasy football is also off and running, and as a result, the screenshots of guys underperforming, monster weeks, particularly from last night's game, as mentioned earlier, the only over besides Jets Steelers that actually hit in week 1. If we're looking at some niche style leagues scoring systems, there's a bunch of them out there. I saw one, quarterback tackles are worth 100 points. Dak Prescott had one in the Thursday night game.
Yes, he did.
But I think the best one, if you still use kickers in your league, that a missed point after try, missed XP, is -50. These should be layups every time.
Well, they used to be layups.
Yeah, we moved it back.
I mean, -50. That's a lot, Duke.
Yeah, well, be careful who your kicker is. You don't need You don't need a kicker that can make 60-yarders, but you can't have a kicker that misses extra points.
We have minus for a missed field goal.
Oh yeah, I think that's
so a lot
standard.
Of leagues have that. Yeah.
In any missed kick is worth negative something, but missing extra points that's a no. You're sunk if that happens.
What's the matter,
to you.
Eddie? What are you doing?
I'm just packing up.
No.
Just packing up your boys.
No.
Woo! I'm off the clock.
Okay, we got lots of time left, Eddie. Lots of time.
Oh, Kevin.
I don't know. I mean, that's a lot of points there, Duke. Though -58.
Yes. So would you rather play in one that's
I'd like to do the quarterback
100
one.
points for a quarterback tackle? What's funny about that is that it usually comes after an interception.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, fumble can happen to him, whether it's if the quarterback's making the tackle, he's probably not the one who fumbled it. Maybe it's his running back that he handed off or a receiver downfield. But that's a pretty unique one. And it's really rare, much more rare than the missed extra point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm with you, Duke. I'm in on this. Kickers, special teams play. I love them. They're a part of the team.
That's right. They are
so darn costly when they make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Just like other guys on the team when for example, Keon Julian Grant drops a touchdown. Very costly.
Chris Jones, Friday night.
Yes.
Missed assignment.
Took the inside route, gives up contain. It's costly. Everybody makes mistakes. It's just magnified so much more on those special teams guys. And the reality is, man, when we're out in training camp grinding, these kickers, they're chilling, lounging in the pools, in the hot and cold tubs. So there's a bit of resentment towards them. Just do your job and make the kick.
Yeah, Andre Schmidt for the Browns yesterday. I think it was his first NFL game. Pretty rough day for the kid.
Tough, man.
Missed an extra point that proved costly, and then missed the field goal that would have been a chance to win the game.
Kid cost me.
Text 833-401-1440 from Glenn. Hey, Eddie, great stovetop session with John Cornish at the Elks brunch on Saturday. Well done. I think the sluice juice helped the victory.
Yeah, Johnny was into the sluice.
Yeah, was he really?
Yeah, we weren't dueling back and forth or anything. We played off each other well, but Johnny he got into that sluicy juice.
The sluice juice, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you give him the business right off the hop there?
It's hard to give him the business because he goes up there and he's got 2 handfuls of rings, 3 most outstanding Canadians, a CFL Hall of Fame ring, couple of Grey Cups. He's got the hardware.
So
he had a pretty
did you say you
career.
were like the Moscow?
I didn't. I wanted to.
Cat.
And I was going to go up with the cane too. But I was racing, leaving my house. I was a couple minutes behind, so I couldn't find the cane. So For the viewer or the listeners, I was going to go up. Me and John Cornish did a hot stove. I was going to go up and bring up a cane. Say I was going to need this cane just in case me and Johnny had to get our Joe Cap, Angelo Moscow on at the front of the stage there.
The thing is, you'd probably like Moscow's had the cane. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you probably
I would have
you would have given him the cane.
Oh, I would have Joe capped him.
Yeah.
I would have gave him that hard right, put him down. For sure.
Yeah. So how did that go? It was good.
It was good,
Yeah.
man. It was a good event, long event. I think there'll be some improvements moving forward, but for the first go around, it was a heck of an event.
Yeah. Duke, did you make it to that? No, Declan.
The whole
did.
crew showed out.
Yeah,
I know. I couldn't-
Josh, Declan, myself,
Penny was
LT,
there.
Greg's. It was good. Yeah, Steven, our sales guy, was there as well. And I'm with Eddie. Like, it was a good event. I think there's some tweaks to be made to keep it a little moving along a little more seamlessly and keep people engaged a little bit better throughout the entirety of it.
Did you have some sluice juice, Duke?
Yep.
Did you?
Sure did. Tried it out for the first time. I didn't have as much as Josh.
Oh,
But hey, no
There's the
judgment
driver.
here. He was getting on the shuttle that took down to the game. I'm sure he was going with his sister who just moved up here for university, I think. So I'm sure they had a great time. It was an awesome football game, of course, and then the shuttle right back
Josh
to the state.
He was a little leery of getting his sluice on in front of Greg's, I think.
Was he?
But I said, "Come on, Josh."
every
let it
time
fly,
I'd look
baby.
over
Let it fly.
I'd look over at Josh and I would just give him the tail, like, oh yeah, have another little one, have another one.
Well, they water it down pretty good.
Oh,
though.
Yeah, I'll be honest. You could have told me there was no booze in that, and I would have believed you.
Yeah, it's
Maybe I just didn't drink enough.
at Grey Cup. I mean, they really, but at that point, who cares at that point? But well, Eddie, that was a remarkable show as usual.
As usual.
What do you got on the go for today?
Gonna go and shoot Elks Nation.
Yeah.
Got the pod. Actually, we're gonna be interviewing Rank the Tank just before you.
Is that right?
Yeah,
eh?
he's hopping on with
Oh,
us
good
at
for you
about
guys.
9:40, and then
Oh, boy.
you guys 10. So chat with him and just do the breakdown. Then I'm gonna pound the pavement a little bit for work.
Yeah. Oh, really? Wow. Very impressive.
Very impressive. Are you highly impressed by me, Kevin?
Well, let's just say my concern level is not high right now.
That's good. It will be tomorrow morning
Why?
when you wake up to a 31-21 Chicago. I mean, Minnesota.
Oh,
Whoa! Minnesota Vikings.
So I
victory.
don't. What's the over under in this one? I don't see it being a 31-21 game anyway.
Well, yeah, if you're following the trends of the week, it certainly won't be. The total is set at just 43.5.
Yeah.
Kevin, I gotta go, my man.
Okay, Eddie, have a great week. We'll see you on Friday. That's Eddie Steele, Grey Cup champion from 2015. Look at him just bolting out of the studio. See you in about 20 minutes, Eddie. Coming up in the 9 o'clock hour, we will talk a little baseball, Blue Jays baseball, everything around the major leagues with Levi Weaver from The Athletic. And then, as Eddie mentioned, we'll have Justin Rankin from the Edmonton Elks. What a game on Saturday. Over 200 yards rushing. We will check in with Justin Rankin at 10 o'clock and then Connor Halley from Fantasy Frenzy and the Jason Greger Show coming up at 10:20. Before all that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
First Sunday of the NFL season is in the books, and it ended with a classic last night from Buffalo. Bills take it 41-40 over the Ravens. Josh Allen just under 400 yards through the air. Derrick Henry 169 on the ground for Baltimore. Elsewhere, Tampa Bay getting past Atlanta 23-20. Cincy squeaks one out over the Browns 17-16. The Jets lose to Aaron Rodgers' debut with the Steelers 34-32, and the Denver Broncos, they top the Titans 20-12. In the majors yesterday, Toronto Blue Jays dropped the rubber match at the hands of the Yankees 4-3 from New York. Jays off today before opening a set with the Houston Astros. Elsewhere around the majors, Mariners run it up on the Braves 18-2. Orioles losing to the Dodgers 5-2. Chicago Cubs doubled up on by the Nationals 6-3. Rangers beat the Astros 4-2. And the Padres, they beat the Rockies 8-1. U.S. Open action from New York. Carlos Alcaraz takes home his second U.S. Open title, beating Jannik Sinner in 4 sets. Coming up in hour 3, the Kevin Karius Show will be joined by Levi Weaver from The Athletic covering the major leagues of baseball. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Weekly NFL giveaways, drink specials, huge screen TVs. The hits keep coming at First Round, Edmonton's NFL headquarters. Watch NFL football at First Round, and you could win a trip to your favorite NFL city for a regular season game next season. Catch NFL action Thursday nights, all day Sunday, starting with the Pro Bowl brunch from 10:30 to 2. Then Monday night with half-price boneless wings after 6 p.m. First Round, burgers, beer, sports. Downtown and Bourbon Street, West Edmonton Mall.
I'm a little hungry.
I've got Booster Balls from Booster Juice.
Booster what now?
Booster Balls. They're little protein bites packed with nutrients. Chewy, crunchy, yummy, and new flavors all the time. Like this little guy, the new mint chocolate booster ball, peppermint cocoa, coconut, peanut butter, maple syrup, all rolled up into a delightful little bite-sized snack.
Why am I just hearing about this now?
I don't know.
Can I have one?
No.
Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
September, back to class and back to carting the kids around. Good news. Until the end of the month at Wolf GMC Buick, get GMC employee pricing on all remaining 2025 GMC Sierras, so you'll have loads of room. Plus, get 0% financing on Sierra light-duty crew cabs. If you're eyeing up an SUV, we have the completely redesigned GMC Terrain and our entire Buick family with incredible prices. And Costco members up to $1,200 additional off the price. Come see us, corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
The ATV Classic is returning to Northern Bear Golf Club.
An international field of professionals will battle it out on their path towards the PGA Tour.
Advance tickets are $20 or upgrade your access to sit greenside in the Sports 1440 Birdie Bar. Presented by Sleeman.
Net proceeds go to Youth on Course to give kids age 6 to 18 access to play golf for just $5.
Come see the future stars of the PGA Tour.
The ATV Classic.
September 11th to 14th.
Get your tickets at atvclassic.com.
I'm Rick Showers from No Bull RV, and I want to explain how our operation works. You see, over at the new RV store, they take orders and try to sell them all by camping season, and sometimes they sell out early. Sometimes they're stuck with a few that just won't move, and maybe they take a couple of used ones on trade. At No Bull, it's a whole different ballgame.
You have inventory arriving all the time, right, Rick?
That's right, Bob. The RVs at No Bull are here on consignment. Folks choose to sell their RVs with us because the customers are already here.
And you specialize in used RVs.
Better believe it, Bob. The new RV stores are not that interested in used models. And nobody in Alberta has more quality used RVs than we do. Not by a long shot. So if you want to sell yours fast, come to where the buyers are. And that's here.
And that's No Bull.
NobleRV.ca.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 9:09 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you on Sports 1440. Text line was humming along this morning. Thanks for all the great texts coming in. Keep them rolling, too. 833-401-1440. Cat Dad says that what changed Daniel Jones' career was the time he spent with the Minnesota Vikings, Duke. Long career with the Vikings, yes, for sure. They could use him tonight.
Well,
they could use Daniel
the
Jones
book
tonight.
is that you don't need to spend very much time with Kevin O'Connell for him to have an impact on you, if you're a quarterback in particular. So, listen, did that half season he spent in the Vikings quarterback room last year help him?
Yeah,
I have to think so. Do I think the Colts are a contender or even a playoff team? Well, hey, man, the way the AFC South looks, if the Texans keep up what they did yesterday, maybe the Colts can be. But I do think that this new look O-line, once the injuries get sorted out from what happened yesterday, it's 4 or 5 new guys on the line.
Yeah.
Gotta, figure everybody out, get some chemistry going.
What's your
Hopefully
concern
it
level
improves.
here? What's your concern level for the
week 1 against a good opponent that you lost by 1 score and you had a chance to win the game and your running back fumbled? I would say my concern level is a 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10. So right in the middle of
it's not good. I recognize that there's something to be concerned about, but week 1, you don't want to overreact too much, which is why I'm trying to hold, all these other things, whether it be Bo Nix, Daniel Jones, Rodgers and the Steelers, Fields and the Jets. The Falcons defense looks surprisingly stout against the Bucs. Try and hold everything at least mildly in check. You don't want to get carried away.
Yeah. And we'll have Connor Halley in to talk fantasy later too, but was there someone in fantasy that you went, wow, that was a hell of a week? Or, there were a lot of duds. We talked about Burrow, Chase, etc. But I'm just thinking of a guy. How about a guy like Deebo Samuel, who had a really, really good game?
Big impact.
Had in our league, he had 27.6 fantasy points. That's pretty damn good for I think MTR called him a fat old man or something.
Yeah, well, that's people were saying that he was a little on the chunkier side leaving San Francisco, but he's shown up and one game. The Giants, who I think it's a 3rd straight year, do not score a touchdown in their week 1 game. Tough scene in for the Giants. I wonder, is Russell Wilson the week 2 starter? They got options. Jameis Winston, if they don't think Jackson Dart is ready, or hey, if they recognize we want to be better this year, more competitive, but also don't expect to challenge the division. Do we want to get our top pick reps? Do we took him for a reason? We believe in him. Let's get him in there and see what he has.
Yeah.
Listen, if I were Brian Daboll, I would be making a change at quarterback. His seat might be the hottest of any head coach across the NFL.
Really? You think he's the hottest?
I think Zach Taylor in Cincinnati. I think his seat is hot. McDaniels, definitely, especially after that. And I kind of joked about it earlier. I definitely expect Tua Tagovailoa to be back under center for the Dolphins. But if there's another outing of that variety, will we see Zach Wilson? Do they maybe go out and get one of the veterans that are available around the league? Could Kirk Cousins be a name that maybe lands in Miami? I'd be curious. Other fantasy standouts,
I heard you had Igbuka on the bench, Duke.
I sure did. That's right, Kevin.
What's going on?
Traded up to get him in my dynasty league, and then with the news that Christian Kirk would not be playing for the Texans, sidled in my good buddy Jaden Higgins in there, and he had a couple catches, looked okay, but not to the. Igbuka had two scores, 22 fantasy points in our league. Had an excellent day. Looks like very much the real deal for the Buccaneers. So that could cost me, as was playing Mason Taylor as my tight end over Harold Fannin Jr., who had a nice little debut for the Browns. Both him and Dylan Sampson. Quinshon Judkins signed with the Browns over the weekend, did not play yesterday, but it does look, at least for the meantime, while he gets up to speed and catches up on the offense and whatnot, it does seem like Dylan Sampson is the guy in Cleveland over veteran Jerome Ford.
Tight ends around the league. I think Brock Bauer says that he's okay, but did leave the game.
Yeah, Carroll said he wanted to come back in, but kind of more precautionary, I suppose.
George
to keep
Kittle.
him out. Kittle had a good game, but also left due to injury, which is not good.
Because we know how thin it is a tight end here, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Trey McBride had a pretty good day.
He's okay.
Just wanted to pull up the full box score there. I mean, that game again between the Saints and the Cardinals was, I mentioned it, like I said, the Panthers and Jags game was the most forgotten about on the day just because of the long delay and not a lot of action in it. But I think this Cardinals-Saints game would be a pretty close second for the one probably the fewest people cared about yesterday. McBride, 6 catches, 61 yards.
He was just okay. He was like Laporta was, he had the same numbers as Laporta pretty well. Again, I got McBride in fantasy, and I'm just hoping, like, he can't go a whole
He's a
season, like-
second-round pick on him.
Yeah, so did I. But he can't go like as far as end zone opportunities like last
You
year.
have to think he'd be like that wasn't an anomaly last year for a guy that is as targeted as much as he is inside the offense. Credit to Marvin Harrison Jr., a guy that I was pretty critical of last year for not maybe living up to the hype as the standout rookie and the top offensive guy coming in. He had a great day. The touchdown catch was great. 5 grabs, 71 yards. Really strong day for him. And I thought Kyler Murray, the numbers don't pop with just 163 passing, but I thought he looked pretty competent back there.
Yeah. So you guys had a good time there on Saturday?
Oh, yeah. We had a good time. The food was excellent for the brunch, and the cheer team came in, did a couple performances, could kind of lead things off. And I will say, like, this is inside the Expo Center. The roof is not that high. And there was also this kind of light bar like you'd see at a concert that was up pointing towards the stage where the hot stove was. The band played up there, a few other performances. And they were doing their performance right underneath that. A couple of the tosses, the aerial maneuvers came dangerously close to clipping this light bar. And then even the roof outside, which was quite a bit higher up. So that got the crowd on the edge of their seat a little bit. There were some other great local things brought in. This drumming group, the Elks band, like marching band, I guess you'd call it, was there. The actual in-house band that plays down behind the one end zone had a couple songs they played. And then it must have been this local Irish dancing group. Young kids in it, some older, more seasoned dancers. It was good. But I kind of questioned, like, what are we doing here? It was almost like, we need to make this event X amount of hours long. Let's fill the time here. Like Eddie's Hot Stove didn't start until close to 2:00. It was supposed to be 1:30, but it's closer to 2:00.
That's a lot of time for a lot of sluices.
And that was the last kind of part of the day. Like that should have been much earlier for me, and maybe a few more events like that with former players in talking as opposed to
Irish
unrelated entertainments.
When we come back, we'll check in with Levi Weaver from The Athletic, covers Major League Baseball. That's coming up right after the break. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you on Sports 1440 and streaming on YouTube.
Premium roast coffee at McDonald's? That means rich, full-bodied flavor at a price that's just as satisfying. Must be McCafe. Enjoy a small McCafe premium roast coffee for just $1 plus tax at participating McDonald's in Canada. Prices exclude delivery.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Sports fans, stay informed with Sports 1440. Stream us. Listen to us on the AM dial. However you consume this radio station, thanks for listening.
Some people wake up and get dressed for work in a suit and tie or a nice dress. At GS Construction, we're less fashion forward and more putting our best foot forward. We wear hard hats and steel toe boots, and most importantly, we wear 50 years of experience with pride. It's not glamorous, it's definitely not easy, but it matters. We do it well. So if you'd like to be part of something where your work matters, GS Construction is hiring. Just remember, when you come for an interview, ditch the tie. See more at gsconstruction.ca.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 25% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until October 18th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
What's your vision for your community? At Vision Credit Union, ours is a thriving rural Alberta where kids have team jerseys, firefighters have the gear they need, and community kitchen fridges stay full. It's why we give back millions every year through grants, donations, sponsorships, and profit shares. Because when your community succeeds, we all do. Bank somewhere with Vision. Vision Credit Union. We see banking differently. Learn more at visioncu.ca.
The ATB Classic is returning to Northern Bear Golf Club.
An international field of professionals will battle it out on their path towards the PGA Tour.
Advance tickets are $20 or upgrade your access to sit greenside in the Sports 1440 Birdie Bar. Presented by Sleeman.
Net proceeds go to Youth on Course to give kids age 6 to 18 access to play golf for just $5.
Come see the future stars of the PGA Tour.
The ATB Classic.
September 11th to 14th.
Get your tickets at atbclassic.com.
Are you relying on credit cards to make ends meet? Are you making just the minimum payment and carrying a balance month after month? It's time to break free from the debt spiral and take control of your finances. I'm Parveen Middleton, licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. During a free consultation, I can explain all your debt relief options and stop your credit card bills from piling up. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
Stories, guests, and insights. This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
In Edmonton, and time now for the game of the day, brought to you by St. Albert Dodge. The biggest sale of the year is on right now. Our in-stock Ram 1500 Sports are all discounted by a whopping $14,000. There's over 90 to choose from, including the Night Edition and the GT models, only at stalbertdodge.com. As we welcome back Levi Weaver from The Athletic. Good morning, Levi. You're with Kevin Karius once again. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Good to talk to you guys anytime.
Well, what did you make of the Blue Jays series with the Yankees on the weekend, Levi, in the sense that, the Yankees got it done what they had to do. They won the series, took 2 of 3. Now the lead is 2 games in the American League East. What did you think of that 3-game set, Levi?
Yeah, I mean, that was I love this time of year, and this year is doing this in spades. That it feels like 12 out of the 15 matchups have some sort of playoff implication. So Yankees, Blue Jays, certainly one of those. The Yankees have looked really good lately. They've been on a little hot streak. They're hitting again. The concerns are basically which broken person are you going to put in right field to hit home runs for you and not play great defense after that Aaron Judge throw that we saw over the weekend. But it was a close enough series, right? Like it came down to basically, if Max Scherzer hadn't been tipping his changeup, would the Blue Jays have won the series? And then we're talking, it's a completely different narrative for that sort of one thing, right? So I think it's gonna be a great playoff race down the stretch. I think they're fairly evenly matched teams, both of them very, very good offenses, both of them with some flaws. Every contender has flaws this year. But it didn't strike me as one of the Yankees came in and definitively were like, no, this is our division. We're gonna take it. It was good. It was a good series with playoff implications, and the Yankees ended up a game better than the Blue Jays.
What did you make of Scherzer tipping the pitches? You saw Aaron Judge on second base. This happens a lot, but what did you think of it?
It happens a lot, and it seems to happen a lot with the Yankees. And, Cody Bellinger had a quote after in the story that I read where he basically goes, I think this happens everywhere. We're just maybe a little bit more upfront about it, and people know when we have it. But yeah, that's very normal, very acceptable. Teams get upset when it happens to them, but, Scherzer even admitted, yeah, this is an issue that I've had for a while. I thought I had it fixed. Apparently I don't. And I love it. That is one of my favorite things about watching baseball, and about even, I play sandlot baseball down here, is like watching to see if I can find a tell. It's like a little spy game within a game. And if you're good at it, you're good at it. And it's a huge advantage to your team.
You think it's just the evil empire, Levi, here? Or what do you like? Is it just because it's the Yankees? And we all know what happened in Houston and things like that. But what is it about the Yankees that, I guess they just draw more attention than a lot of teams?
Yeah, a lot of teams, you talk to guys and sort of maybe off the record or years later, they'll tell you what it was that they saw and how they would communicate it. And a lot of times it's, if I touch my helmet with my left hand, well, if you're preparing to steal a base or you're taking your secondary lead, you could be securing your helmet. That's a very normal thing to be doing. So nobody ever knows, and unless the other team goes, listen, they were all over this guy's curveball. They knew. They had to have known. We don't know that they know, but based on the swings we were seeing on that curveball, they had to have known something. So it's almost as much about hiding your signals in return as it is, when you used to steal the catcher's signals and they had to come up with better subterfuge and better ways to hide it. The Yankees just don't seem to do that. They kind of flaunt it a little bit, and I don't know why they do that. It seems like that would be to their disadvantage to let the other team know that they know. But I kind of like it. There's a little bit of almost a little bit of swagger to it. Of like, yeah, we got it. What are you going to do about it? You don't know what we've got, so see what you can do to fix it.
Levi Weaver with us on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. Around the league, what do you make of the Seattle Mariners right now, Levi, in the sense that, they picked up two big pieces at the trade deadline in Naylor and Suarez, but for some reason have just been sort of floating around here in the American League West, and the way that Texas has come on, it's not a given that Seattle's going to be in here as a wild card team.
Yeah, no, I mean, the lead, it's not just the Rangers, right? The Rangers are a game and a half behind them, but guess what? The Royals are a half game behind the Rangers, and the Guardians are a half game behind the Royals. So there are a few teams kind of knocking on the door. And this is, man, you're supposed to remain objective as a journalist, and I am, and I will call things as I see it, but there's some part of my heart that is like, I want to see the Mariners succeed, and it's for the same reason that I want to see the Brewers in the World Series this year, which is they've never won a World Series. I want to see something different. Give me that novelty. And it just seems like every year the Mariners kind of find ways to fade at the end, and this has been an ongoing trend, and I don't know what it is, because it's different personnel than it was, 10 years ago. It's not the same players. And then it just kind of seems to be almost part of the team culture to rip their fans' hearts out. So I don't know that I could pinpoint one thing and be like, well, this is why that happens every year. I'm not even sure I could pinpoint one thing about this is why it's happening this year. I mean, you can point to guys who, Cal Raleigh had a little bit of a slump. Sometimes the pitching is inconsistent, whatever it might be. It's something different every year, and I don't know. I hope they manage to eke into the playoffs. But because if they do, that rotation is so good, or has the ability to be so good, that you can make a deep playoff run with a pitching rotation like that, and the offense better this year than last year. I want to see Cal Raleigh's magic season continue and take that show to the postseason on the national stage. But man, I don't know. It's going to kind of come down to the wire, I think.
The Athletics' Levi Weaver with us on Sports 1440. Is Cal Raleigh, is he number one or number two for you in AL MVP voting?
Fortunately, I do not have a vote for AL MVP this year. I am on Rookie of the Year duty, so I can speak freely about this. And also, fortunately, because that would be a very difficult choice. Judge's numbers are better for sure, but what I think it comes down to is Judge is doing that as a right fielder, and for the last couple months as a DH. And Raleigh is doing this, not only the value that he has provided with the big gaudy home run numbers, and those are impressive and they're record breaking for a catcher and all of that. You can't minimize that, but it's in addition to that, he is also one of, if not the best defensive catchers in the league. And he is handling that pitching staff. And what he does is so pivotal to their offense on the other side of to their, defense on the other side of the ball. That there is value in that. Yeah. And I think that you can't ignore it just because Judge's offensive numbers are better. But I think everybody's going to weigh that a little differently. How much does that matter to each individual voter? I think it's going to be a very interesting outcome. He'll get some votes. He might even win. And if it were me, I do think right now I would probably vote for Raleigh over Judge, even knowing that Judge's offensive numbers are better.
Who do you like in the NL for MVP? Is it Ohtani? Who do you like out there?
Man, Kyle Schwarber with those 4 home runs in one game, and I was like, maybe that steals it. Maybe he's finally going to be the one to unseat Ohtani from his MVP throne. And then he hasn't hit a home run since in 9 games. He's kind of tailed off a little bit. The thing with Ohtani, and he didn't pitch for the first half of the year this year, so it's less so in this year than in previous years. Well, I say that last year he didn't pitch at all, but he went 50-50. So, that's definitely an MVP season. But the value that he provides on the mound, especially for a Dodgers team that's had so many pitching injuries, it's another one of those, well, how much does that does that count towards your vote? And the fact that he also happens to be probably the best hitter in the National League, it's probably Ohtani again, unless Schwarber goes out and like hits 15 more home runs in the next 2 weeks and gets close to Barry Bonds' record. Then let's reconvene on this conversation.
Yeah, Levi Weaver with us on Sports 1440. So you mentioned you do have a vote for Rookie of the Years in the AL. Is it pretty simple that it's Nick Kurtz, Levi?
So the Baseball Writers Association tells us, hey, don't tell people how you're voting before you vote. So what I think I can say is that Kurtz's numbers have been very impressive. I think early Jacob Wilson had a real shot at it, but that injury kind of scuttled him at the plate. There have been a lot of very good rookies in the American League. People forget that Jack Leiter's a rookie still this year. He didn't have enough service time to use his rookie status up. So there are options. Colson Montgomery's having a really good year in Chicago. If it sounds like I'm sort of making excuses to not give you my answer, that's what's happening here.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Wilson. Roman Anthony's had a pretty good season in Boston too.
Yeah, Roman Anthony's another one.
So the American League again. In the National League, maybe a little closer, maybe in the National League, but Drake Baldwin's having a fabulous season for the Braves.
Baldwin's having a great season. So is Isaac Collins in Milwaukee. And I think he gets overlooked a little bit because he's in Milwaukee. And also because he's 28 years old. And that's not your typical rookie. You don't tend to think of rookies like that. I haven't looked at these numbers in the last few days, but as of about a week ago, Collins was leading all National League rookies, all rookies at the time. No, he was behind Kurtz at that, but all National League rookies in wins above replacement. He has had the better numbers kind of across the board. And we'll see where that ends up at the end of the year. But you're right. I mean, Baldwin is also a very strong option for Rookie of the Year. I think that's going to be a tight vote.
Yeah, you mentioned Isaac Collins, a couple of really good young chuckers in Mizorowski and Cade Horton in Chicago. So really good. I think we're really lucky that some great young players are coming along down the stretch and, even in their rookie seasons here for sure. Levi Weaver from The Athletic, our guest on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. What race would you be looking forward to here down the stretch? Is there a couple of teams in particular? Is there, we mentioned, the little bit about the American League wild card. What are you looking forward to mostly down the stretch here?
The thing is, there's a lot of them, right? The NL West is interesting, or the AL West is interesting with the Mariners. Still, honestly, we talked about their struggles. The Astros haven't been great either, and the Mariners are only 2.5 games behind them for the division lead, so that could go either way. The AL East, we talked about the Blue Jays with a 2-game lead over the Yankees, but the Red Sox are only 3.5 back, and they're currently in a wild card spot. So that's close. The AL Central, that's done. The Tigers are going to win that one. That's over. The NL East, the Phillies, they got a pretty strong lead. Brewers are in great shape. The NL West, the Dodgers are only a game up on the Padres. Both of those teams played like garbage last week, and are trying to recover to win the division. In fact, it's gotten so that now the Giants aren't in it. They're 7 games back, but what becomes interesting is because the Dodgers haven't been very good lately, the Phillies now have a 4-game lead on the Dodgers for that second first round bye. And why that becomes even more important now is that Trey Turner just tweaked his hamstring. We don't know yet how bad that is, but if he needs a month to recover, and the Phillies, the difference is, if the Phillies play in the first round, Turner can't be there. That's perilous for them. Whereas if they get that first round bye, if that's the difference between them having their shortstop, who by the way is having a fantastic year, made some great defensive adjustments to stick at shortstop, that's a different team with Trey Turner. So it's one of those that doesn't really come up a whole lot in the standings page, but like that second to third place between the Phillies and Dodgers and the National League is also a very interesting race for that reason. And then, like you said, the AL wild card, there's still so many teams that are very close to being in it, and just one hot streak from any one of those teams is probably going to make a difference.
Yeah. What team scares you the most? Like what team wouldn't you want to play if you're in the playoffs here?
For as bad as they've been the last week or two, or honestly since mid-July, on paper, the Dodgers are still the scariest team.
Yeah.
They just have so many great players. And if this really is a case of almost regular season fatigue, they've been in the playoffs for so many years and they're so expected to be so good that there's just not that urgency. If that's what it is, and I don't know if that's what it is in Los Angeles, but if so, and they get to the playoffs and turn it on, you might be looking at a different team. I think the Phillies, if they're a little less scary without Zach Wheeler, but Schwarber can still be a difference maker. And then in the American League, I do think the Yankees are scary just because they mash. But if you're a team like the Blue Jays that match up with them and it just becomes a scoring competition, win a bunch of 12 to 10 games, the Blue Jays could hang with them. So there's really not one team that I look at and go, that's the team. The Tigers have been inconsistent lately. Is it the Brewers?
Yeah.
Because they play a different style of baseball than everybody else. And how does that play in the playoffs where home runs kind of tend to be king? The Brewers don't really hit home runs, but they do everything else so well. A weird one. Here's my dark horse. If the Rangers sneak in and Corey Seager is back off the injured list and Nathan Eovaldi is back off the injured list, and they kind of start to get these guys back and ride some of the excitement from these young guys that have been winning them games so improbably lately. The Rangers have their pitching staff is very, very good. I mean, their run differential right now is plus 82. The Astros are plus 19. The Mariners are plus 32. Both of those are playoff teams. The Rangers are on, they're the Pythagorean record or whatever. They should be a better team than they are.
Yeah.
Plus 82 is better than the Tigers. Plus 82 is better than the Mets. I'm looking here. It's close. The Dodgers are at 95. So they could be a scary team if they sneak in. The thing is, they might not sneak in because they haven't been able to hit the ball and everybody's injured right now.
Where do you put the Blue Jays in this picture, Levi, in the sense, do you think they could go on a bit of a deeper playoff run?
I do, especially if, I think we've kind of almost seen the two sides of Shane Bieber right now. I think this was his last start that wasn't that great, but his first start was pretty phenomenal. I think if Shane Bieber is closer to the guy that we saw in that first start, if he's starts to regain that Cy Young form, that is a huge addition to a Blue Jays team that needs as much length as they can get from their starting pitching because their bullpen is going to be a wild card every game. But that offense has been so good for so long and so consistent that, they're absolutely a scary team in the playoffs. And going back to Texas as an example, in 2023, their bullpen was really, really bad all year. They snuck into a wild card spot only because their bullpen was so bad. They should have won the division that year. And then they got into the playoffs, and all of a sudden that bullpen locked in, and it was nails, and they won the World Series. So I know that's not the sort of that's not a blueprint you can say, well, let's put together a team where the bullpen is absolutely awful all season, and then they're going to lock in the playoffs. You can't plan for that. But it wouldn't be unprecedented either. It does happen. Absolutely. The Blue Jays are, if the one part of your team that you're the most worried about is the part of a team that is always kind of inconsistent and streaky and can be bad or can be good, if you got to pick one, that's the one to have questions about.
As always, Levi, good stuff. We're in for a couple good races here for sure down the stretch and playoffs in a few weeks. As always, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate your time.
Yeah, of course. Take care.
That's Levi Weaver from The Athletic. And our game of the day brought to you by St. Albert Dodge, where 2025 Jeep Wrangler 1500s have 0% financing for up to 72 months. Check them out at stalbertdodge.com. Coming up at the top of the hour, we will check in with Justin Rankin, Edmonton Elks running back, coming off a monster performance on Saturday, 200 plus yards rushing on 16 carries, a couple of beautiful touchdown runs. He'll join us at 10 o'clock, and Connor Halley from Fantasy Frenzy and the Jason Greger Show coming up as well at 10:20. When we come back, we'll get to some of your texts, 833-401-1440. It's a Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne on Sports 1440, and we're streaming on YouTube.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 25% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until October 18th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we believe that life shouldn't hurt. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't know that sometimes it really hurts. I mean, we've seen people at their worst moments in life, when they feel they have nowhere to turn, or at a time when they felt like their problem just wouldn't ever go away. We've also seen people who thought to themselves, it'll just go away on its own, or this is no big deal. I don't want to bother anyone about this. Don't know where to turn to, or think it's no big deal. Either way, we have the technology, techniques, and skills to help you get back to it, whatever your it may be. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
When you have lifting and material handling needs, Northwest Crane delivers. Western Canada's Sandy dealer, backed by the industry's toughest one. 3 years, 3,000 hours, no compromises. They service all crane makes and models with skilled technicians and deep industry expertise. Alberta owned, with locations in Leduc and Grand Prairie, and fully equipped service trucks. Northwest Crane keeps your operation lifting. For more information on sales or service, visit northwestcrane.com or call today.
And listen right here for live broadcast of Toronto Blue Jays baseball. Sports 1440, proud to be the home of the Blue Jays.
The Midsummer Sales Event is on now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. The all-new redesigned 2026 XC90 is here. Test drive the ultimate evolution in luxury. Lease or finance a 2025 XC60 from 0.49% and save $5,000. Finance or lease a 2026 XC40 from 2.99%. Come and discover the deals now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Great vehicles, better service. The Midsummer Sales Event is on now at volvocarsedmonton.com.
Ford employee pricing is on now, and you pay what we pay on the Ford you want. Visit your Alberta Ford store or Ford.ca today.
The ATB Classic is returning to Northern Bear Golf Club.
An international field of professionals will battle it out on their path towards the PGA Tour.
Advance tickets are $20 or upgrade your access to sit greenside in the Sports 1440 Birdie Bar. Presented by Sleeman.
Net proceeds go to Youth on Course to give kids age 6 to 18 access to play golf for just $5.
Come see the future stars of the PGA Tour.
The ATB Classic,
September 11th to 14th.
Get your tickets at atbclassic.com.
Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 9:43 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you. Little Tritter there, eh? Duke, little Tritter.
Love him.
Yeah. Tiger doesn't like him. Tiger says, sorry, that's a brutal cover.
Come
on, Tiger. Come on, Tiger.
Tiger, that's a terrible take.
That album with all the covers. So Travis Tritt did one. Who else? Clint Black.
Yeah, Desperado. Love that one. Let's see who else is on it. Quick little.
So all Eagles cover songs that came out probably 20 is it 25 years already?
Common Thread, the songs of the
Thread,
Eagles. 1993 was its release. What do we got? Peaceful, Easy Feeling, Little Texas, Heartache Tonight by John Anderson, Tequila Sunrise by Alan Jackson, Take It to the Limit by Susie Bogus.
Ooh.
There's a good one. Vince Gill, Diamond Rio, Trisha Yearwood, Billy Dean, Tanya Tucker, B&D, and Lori Morgan.
What did Lori Morgan? Which one did?
The Sad Cafe.
Oh, man, Lori Morgan. Keith Whitley's, right?
Yeah,
they were married.
His wife.
Yeah. Susie Bogus. Now, what was that one?
Take It to the Limit.
Take It to the Limit.
That's a great song.
Red hair, Susie?
I don't think so.
If she did, but she'd be right up your alley.
Looks like a brunette.
Brunette?
Or so.
She'd be right up your alley. Right up your alley. Text 833-401. 1440. James says, Levi's such a good guest. Love hearing his knowledge about baseball. Yeah, Levi Weaver. Check him out from the Athletic. Brew Crew just texting. KK, love the Elks game on Saturday. Tailgates were great with a lot of kids playing scrub football. Lots of families in the stands. City once again gets in the way of a crowded LRT. Only ride out to Millwoods. Elks did their job, though. Nice to see from the Brew Crew. I was at the tailgate, Duke. It was pumping.
Was it bumping?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, of all the games that I've gone to the past 2 years, and that's the one that I'm watching on my phone from behind the bar at Blueberry Community Hall.
Oh, yeah.
Outside of Stony Plain, where Cortland and Luke got married.
Wow.
And I was slinging them back there, Kev.
They found their thrill on Blueberry Hill, eh?
Blueberry Hill, I suppose so, as would be the best way to put it. Yeah, it was a...
So how was that?
Oh, it was fine. Yeah. Myself, my mom, and my other sister's fiance, we tended the bar. Was long. Happy hour started at like 3:45, and we shut her down around 1:30 or so, and then kind of helped clean up a little bit as most people were migrating out. I'll say this, and listen, maybe some of the folks in there had a nice little after party planned at one of the campers or somewhere. Pretty tame wedding compared to some of the others that I've been an attendee at, as opposed to just working them.
Yeah. Oliver Steve says that print cover of the Eagles is what got the band back together, Duke.
Like they're like, man, that's so good. We got to get back to making music again so more people can cover our stuff.
Yeah. That was a hell of an album though, The Common Thread.
Oh, yeah.
Very popular.
Very, like I said, and I've said this probably umpteen times on this show over like that the Clint Black Desperado cover. I think
Is that the best one?
I think it's the best one on the album. I think it's better than the original. I don't remember when it came out originally. Obviously, it predates my life. But there's a great documentary on the Eagles. I can't remember the name of it or where I even watched it originally. It's been many years since I saw it. But when the Eagles came out with that song and the album that it was on, everybody kind of was like, "What the hell is this? Like, why are the Eagles doing a cowboy album?"
And Tequila Sunrise was
Alan Jackson.
I mean, that one to me is
the whole Common Thread album was rock solid. When you're the Eagles and you've got such a great collection of songs, you pick 13 of them out, and then any of these country artists it's kind of the peak of country music when you're talking early 90s. There were no shortage of great artists to pick to do some covers on.
Yeah, what we just watched, I'm just watching a little highlights of the U.S. Open here.
Yeah.
Alcaraz really dominated Sinner.
And
a lot, I mean, you think about how, well, did you watch any of the Sinner Felix Auger-Aliassime?
Yeah, I'd watch some of that. Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of things going on that evening, if I recall. Yeah. Jays Thursday Night Football, or the Friday night game, and the tennis match. So
you had CFL, you had everything on Friday night.
Yeah, lots.
NFL game, which was
excellent,
really good. I
Go
thought,
Bolts.
You were happy about that, eh? Well,
of course I was. I'm 3-0 on the year against you, Kev. About to be 4 after tonight when my boy Caleb Williams has a good game.
No, what the hell?
DeAndre Swift, probably 2 scores, I think.
I thought it was 1 the spread on.
1.5.
You sure?
Yeah, very sure.
I don't know. Do we have the tape?
You want me to run this back and check it? I'll even
do.
see what the closing line on it.
No, I don't like the way things are going around here. So anyway, you're up 3-0. Well,
3-0.
You know what they say, Duke?
Worst lead in worst lead in betting.
The horse that craps fast doesn't crap long is what it is.
I have heard that expression. I'm not sure I get it. Don't think too hard about it, Sam. Don't think too hard about it.
Sam's never heard that one, I can guarantee you. Mitchell just texted Tequila Sunrise. What a drink. I believe I had one of those at the tailgate party.
Did you?
I think it was.
So, like, did you pop by all of the listeners? No, Tony the Meter Reader invited us last week. Army Daryl, the invite is open and always standing.
I handed up Rob Brecky, old buddy, his wife Lisa. She used to be a chorus, but I think still is. I'm not even sure. But anyway, we ended up there because we were with several people that do them. It was a lot like right as soon as you came in. It was number 9, I guess. So I never even strayed from there at all. And they had He was pouring.
How was the because K97, our friends over there, they host the big tailgate. They usually got a band and stuff. How was it bumping as well, I would assume?
The closing line, Duke here, Mitchell just said, I'm sorry, was -1.5 Baltimore.
Well, that's a good thing we don't pick them based on the closing lines. We pick them on what they're at when we make the selections. And on Friday, it was Bills 1.5.
No, Duke, it was Baltimore. That's why I said I won the game. It was Baltimore that was favored.
I'll run it back and check.
Oh, absolutely, Duke. Baltimore went in as the favorite.
Bills were at home.
I know they were at home. The Baltimore was the favorite. That's why I said I won. I won outright.
Let's see.
I know, Duke. All of a sudden, 3-0. It's down to 2-1. Woohoo! Yeah.
All right. I'll defer to you.
Yep.
If that's what if you think it was Buffalo plus 1.5.
It was.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I basically it was a pick 'em game, and Buffalo won.
They did.
Baltimore was the favorite, Duke. Even Montana in the race. Karius is right, I think, honestly.
Well, Mike says Bills were favorites at kickoff.
No. It was -1.5 Baltimore when we did the picks.
Okay. I've changed it in the spreadsheet. 1 and 2.
All of a sudden, Duke, not so confident over there, are you?
No, I'm still very confident.
Very
confident.
I'd be very concerned if I were you. Well, what does that matter? So sorry, get back when I interrupted you. You were talking about
the band playing for the K97 tailgate.
Okay.
Was it good?
I mean, you know,
I'm not saying you had to be at the front of the stage headbanging or anything, but like it's loud.
From there. We were
the
quite
parking lot's not that big.
We were quite a ways from there. One thing I did notice that there were a lot of kids playing, like the last texture. A lot of kids were chucking the ball around.
Oh, that's always good.
Yeah, a lot of kids were chucking the ball.
Did you get in
around.
the mix on maybe a game of a cornhole or a ladder golf or something?
Someone in our group though ended up catching a ball from when they were throwing them from the fire truck.
Yeah. We all got one because everybody at each table got one at the Elks brunch.
Yeah.
So I've got one in my truck, and even Steven, Eddie, and Declan were throwing it around a little inside the expo center. It's just like kids again.
Here's a quick thing too that I did notice, and Titan just texted in the Karen lady from Philadelphia that stole the ball.
That was Friday night.
Was it Friday? Yeah.
Unreal.
She's been. It's been funny to play out over the weekend with all the memes going on. Like holy cow! It's like that guy though. Like he dad was scared. The dad.
Well,
was scared
he literally, it's like hands up. He's like, "Yo, what's your problem?" And she's just going at him. And finally, he just says to his kid, "Like, listen." The juice ain't worth the squeeze here. Just give her the ball.
And then it was great that the Marlins gave the kid
bat, jersey, whole swag package. That was awesome. It ended as a feel-good story.
Yeah, he gets the bat from Bader.
Yeah.
The Marlins gave him a package of everything. Did the woman, did she do anything on the weekend? Did she come out and say, man, that was not a good look or not? Or
who cares?
Like, I'm just thinking like, you know who I thought of immediately? I honestly thought of Frank Saravalli. And I thought, because he's the first Philadelphia guy that comes to mind when I think about Philadelphia. And I thought, I wonder what Frank's thinking about this right now.
Yeah, that was a Philly special.
Wow.
If I'd ever seen it.
Northside Lou even says, I read that Karen was fired from her job. That cat. Is that true?
I don't know how it could be.
Cat Dad says she came out and said she can't go out in public anymore because people call her Karen the ball snatcher.
See, I'm okay with a little public justice as long as it doesn't cross a line, which we all know it does and will for this lady. She deserves to get a little blowback because it's a terrible look.
What do you think Frank would say about it?
He'd say that's just a good Philly lady doing her part.
That's not what he would say. Whatever if it's like, could you imagine if there's somehow she's related to Frank or something like that? Frank knows her. Karen and Frank.
Yeah, just imagine.
Also, Titan says Baltimore was the favorite, Duke.
Yeah, I've deferred, Kevin. I accept that you're correct. And
Mitchell even texted it in. He's got a picture. Ravens open as a 1.5 favorite.
Yeah, no, it says after Buffalo opened as 1.5 point favorites, Baltimore is now minus 125 on the money line.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, I am right that it opened as Buffalo as a 1.5 point favorite,
okay, Duke.
But Baltimore closed as a favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and we're talking when it opened last week or by Friday? I'm giving you the win. Closed case.
I was pretty excited about it too when I saw that.
I would say so.
Yeah.
You're going to need every win you can get this year. I'm looking to be very sharp.
What was it last year?
A lot.
Hmm.
A lot
What
to
did
not
we-
very.
did
A
we
lot
play-
for you, not very many for me.
What did we play for last year? Are we playing for anything?
Maybe we should. Yeah, let's drum
Yeah.
something up to get on the line this time.
Like a
around.
nice lunch or something?
I think that'd be very reasonable. Treat to lunch at the mall, maybe down at first round. Full spread, wings, burger. They got a nice dessert there.
Yeah. Well, I'm in for anything, Duke.
I know.
Absolutely. Coming up at the top of the hour is the man of the hour, Justin Rankin, Edmonton Elks running back from Saturday night, where he carried the ball 16 times, had 204 yards rushing. Amazing, absolutely amazing performance. He'll join us at the top of the hour. Also, Connor Halley from Fantasy Frenzy and the Jason Greger Show coming up at 10:20. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by First Round Duke. Yeah, tonight you could win an NFL jersey at both locations. Right here at the mall that has it all, 104th Ave as well. They got 50% off boneless wings. We got Monday Night Football, so it's going to be hopping. First round, Edmonton's NFL headquarters. Here is the Duke.
The Sports 1440 update.
NFL week number 1 wrapping up tonight from the Windy City. The Bears hosting the Vikings in an NFC North matchup. Kickoff coming at 6:15 in the majors. 11 games total today. Jays are off. But elsewhere around the league, Phillies host the Mets in an all-important NL East matchup. Royals are in Cleveland. Braves hosting the Cubbies. Brewers take on the Texas Rangers. D-backs in NorCal against the Giants. Red Sox going against the Athletics. And the Mariners host the St. Louis Cardinals. From the NHL, Carolina Hurricanes adding forward Kevin LeBanc on a professional tryout. 29-year-old forward spent last year with the Columbus Blue Jackets. Coming up in hour 4 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Edmonton Elks running back Justin Rankin and Connor Halley from Fantasy Frenzy. I'm Brendan Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CHJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
God said, I need somebody to get up before dawn, milk cows, work all day in the fields, milk cows again, eat supper, go to town, and stay all night at a meeting of the school board. So God made a farmer.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. We are so thankful God made a farmer. For the month of September, it is our goal to feed 500 families. With every vehicle sold, we will feed a family of 4. So please help us reach our goal. Visit us online at northgategm.com.
$1 plus tax for a smooth, small premium roast coffee at McDonald's? That means rich, full-bodied flavor at a price that's just as satisfying. Must be McCafe. Enjoy a small McCafe premium roast coffee for just $1 plus tax at participating McDonald's in Canada. Prices exclude delivery.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
What's your vision for your community? At Vision Credit Union, ours is a thriving rural Alberta where kids have team jerseys, firefighters have the gear they need, and community kitchen fridges stay full. It's why we give back millions every year through grants, donations, sponsorships, and profit shares. Because when your community succeeds, we all do. Bank somewhere with Vision. Vision Credit Union. We see banking differently. Learn more at visioncu.ca.
Plan for success in 2026 with help from the Co-op Grow Team. With the latest on-farm technology, our agronomists will work with you to gather and interpret soil samples, analyze data, and gain more insight into your fields. We offer local expertise and trusted advice to help you plan your inputs and prepare for the unexpected. Get ready to make data-driven decisions with Co-op Egg Zone Field. Make a successful 2026 crop plan to meet your field's potential. Talk to your Co-op Grow team today.
While the players gear up for the new season, make sure you gear up your snack game with Will Hawk Beef Jerky.
Okay, this jumbo bag of beef jerky should last the preseason.
Whoa. Will Hawk has more than just beef jerky. There's smoked sausage and pepperoni products, too.
Well, how about we have jerky for Eastern opponents and pepperoni sticks when we face the Western teams?
Now that sounds like a Will Hockey game plan.
Will Hawk Beef Jerky, because you don't win games with salad. Only available in Leduc.
Yeah!
Stories, guests, and insights. This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 10 o'clock in Edmonton, and time now for the headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing. The plumber to call when the toilet mysteriously breaks after your jalapeno pepper popper fueled game night with the fellas. That's mrrooter.ca as we welcome back Justin Rankin to the program. Good morning, Justin. You're with Kevin Karius. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning. Really appreciate it.
Heck yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate y'all.
Oh, well, good to talk to you again, Justin, man. That was something else on Saturday night. Just overall, before we get to your individual performance, what did you make of the game, the scene, the atmosphere, everything at Commonwealth?
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing, like to be able to see the upper deck open up and, even if it was just a small section like that, that was phenomenal to see. That was something that, us and the guys, we've been stressing is like, let's get the fans into the upper deck, let's open the upper deck up. So, even to be able to see it just for one game, I think that got a lot of belief into the guys. Like, man, we could really fill the stadium up. We just continue to do what we're doing.
Yeah. We were talking, we had Eddie Steele on, and you've met Eddie, obviously, a Grey Cup champion from 2015, and just the overall atmosphere being in that stadium, to be honest with you, Justin, I haven't been able to feel or see that for me personally, and it might be 10 years. So just as a player and as a team, how much did that give you guys a jolt?
Yeah, it's definitely huge. This is a community that loves sports, loves football, loves hockey, and they're behind us. They want to be here. They want to come to the games, and we just got to be able to perform. So to give them something to believe in, and I think that we're doing that, little by little.
Mm-hmm. Justin Rankin with us, Edmonton Elks running back after a superb performance on Saturday night. So, for you personally, Justin, 16 carries, 204 yards, the 2 TDs. Is it one of those nights where you just, you're feeling it and you just kind of keep building and building? Maybe just describe your performance and how you felt that you were in the groove on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy because we started off kind of slow. We had a couple of drives that were 2 and out, in the beginning. The defense was really, holding their own, and they were kind of being the spark to our fire, in the very beginning. And, again, I'll continue to say it's the ultimate team sport. I think the guys just believed in each other, and, guys were blocking down the field, 20 yards down the field. You got linemen, driving people 10, 15 yards down the field, and good things happen, when that happens. So, as long as we got a body in the body, in the run game, whether it's a 90-yard run or a 20-yard run, like I said, good things that happen.
Mm-hmm. Justin, that 90-yard run, maybe just describe that, and I'm sure your eyes got just wide as, the seas parted for you there.
Yeah, it was amazing, after seeing the hole that, the line opened up, there was just one guy to beat. And I always tell them, like, you guys just leave me one guy. If you guys leave me one guy, we'll make something happen. And that's exactly what they did. They believe in me to do what I do. And, I made one guy miss. Ben is blocking 20 yards down the field. And, the rest is history. It was a pretty awesome feeling.
Maybe just touch on your O-line, what you thought of their game and how they played, even in, pass protection too, but really opening up some holes for you.
Yeah, they're phenomenal. I love those guys. I believe in those guys from day one. They've been catching some slack, especially after last week. But to be able to come back out and respond the way that they did, I mean, that's amazing. That's more power to them. Like, they're a resilient group. They show up to work every day. They're pros, true pros. And like I said, to be able to come back, after all the stuff that they got after the game in Calgary,
mm-hmm.
I mean, man, like that's an amazing performance that they just displayed.
What's the difference in the sense, Justin, for game planning back to back, so close together. The games are obviously very tight together. What's the difference for you in game planning? And a lot of people say sometimes you're doing like almost two at once going into week one. Maybe just explain how that concept works.
Yeah, I mean, we really didn't change anything. You know, I don't really think there was nothing to change. It was, we just played them. We're going to play them again in 5 days. Like, just show up and play. You know, the team that has the least amount of mistakes, you know, they're normally going to win, you know, and that's what happened in the first game, you know, and that's what happened in the second game. You know, if you go back and look at which team, you know, made more mistakes, and, you know, the other team normally wins. And I don't really think there's too much game planning in between those weeks. You know, we didn't really change too much. It was just about, rallying the guys together, believing that, you know, we could play with them, and going out and doing it.
Yeah. Justin Rankin with us on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. We talked about that 90-yard run, and I just wanted to see if you knew there was an old player years and years ago when the Edmonton Eskimos won 5 in a row, and his name was Jim Germany. And your run of 90 yards, that's the longest touchdown run by an Edmonton running back since 1977. Did you know that?
I knew it after the game, like when I think Mike told me, you know, he let me know. So that was pretty cool to know.
Yeah, no kidding, for sure. What about the 31-yard touchdown run? And I mean, I don't want, maybe if you can compare the two, obviously one's way longer than the other, but I mean, it was a little bit of a different dynamic. What was the play call on that 31-yarder?
Yeah, we just ran a regular inside zone play. You know, that's kind of our bread and butter, I think, in the run game, is just, you know, running inside zone. And, you know, again, we had a body in a body. Even, you know, I know Kaon, he had a block in the backfield, but I always tell him, like, look, man, like, it doesn't matter if it's in the back foot or not. As long as I can see your back, you know, we can work with that. And, you know, again, they believe me to just make plays, you know, regardless of whether it's a big run, short run, you know, whether it's one person to miss, two people to miss. You know, they're out there blocking their butts off. And, you know, like I said, I'll continue to say it, when you got receivers blocking the entire play, you know, down the field, I mean, man, it's good things that happen.
You know, I've asked you this several times before, Justin, and I've asked the same question to Javon Leake, and why you guys work so well together. And I mean, it's a little different component, each of you, that brings what you bring to the table. But maybe just discuss that again, and that relationship that you have with Javon in the backfield.
Man, that's my guy. I mean, you know, obviously we're together every day, you know, at work, but even outside of the facility, you know, like we're always kicking and hanging out, talking. But I think it's really just, we both want to win. You know, we don't really care if we get the ball 100 times, if we get the ball 0 times, you know, as long as we're winning, you know, we're fine. That makes everything better, like when you're winning games, you know. So I think there's an unselfishness of, you know, let's just win, and whatever we need to do to be a part of that, like, we'll do that. And again, man, that's my guy. You know, when you got depth in a room like that, like, it's pretty hard to stop.
You know, and it's funny, like, he's such a critical part of the special teams game. Maybe just touch on what he brings to the table in the return game, Justin.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. I think he's a one-of-a-kind guy, a player. You know, when he gets the ball in his hands, he does his little skip thing he does, and he bursts down the field. I mean, I get so excited, man. I feel like I'm watching my son, you know, score a goal in a soccer game or something. It's amazing, you know. He's special. You know, I told him from day one, you know, when I first got here last year, I'm like, dude, like, you're amazing. Like, I've never been around a player like you. You know, like, you're really, truly phenomenal.
Justin Rankin with us on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. From our text line, here's a question from Tiger that he wants to ask you, Justin. Hey, Kevin, please ask him about trying out before as a slot back. So this is going back to last year, Justin?
Yeah, they brought me in as a running back, and then you know, during the off season they moved me to receiver. So the whole camp I was mainly playing receiver, like, with a little bit of running back. But I mean, I played some receiver in college, you know, played some receiver in indoor a little bit. So it wasn't really too much of a new thing to me. We had the waggle in indoor as well. So, you know, I was kind of used to it. It didn't really, like, you know, throw me off at all. But I had fun. I had fun playing receiver. Playing receiver is fun. You know, sometimes I like it more than running back, honestly.
Well, why wouldn't you? I mean, you're very successful at it as well. Is it more about just being able to be that versatile back for you to, you know, every back wants to, you know, they want to run, but catching balls too, and even blocking, you know, what's it mean to you to kind of be an all-purpose kind of guy?
Yeah, I mean, I've always taken pride in it. You know, it was something that my dad always told me too, like, you know, shoot, the more ways that you can get the ball in your hands and, help the team and make plays, like, do it. So, if it was playing receiver, learning to catch the ball, learning to run routes, or, running the ball, pass blocking, whatever, like he always really instilled, like, make sure you know it all. The more you know, the more you'll be on the field. So, and that stuck with me. I take pride in it, like whatever I can do to be able to help the team, I want to be able to do that.
Absolutely. Justin Rankin with us on Sports 1440. Maybe let our listeners know, Justin, and I've asked you too in person, just before you came to Edmonton, what it was all about for you in the old IFL as well. Several teams. What were you in Frisco, Bismarck? What was that all about?
Yeah. I was Bismarck, Frisco, and then, the Bay Area team in California. I love arena football. I'm a huge advocate for it. I always tell my guys that, like, aren't getting drafted or, kind of going undrafted out of rookie camp and can't find their way into the CFL, like go play arena ball. It's not what, everybody wants to do. It's not like your first, goal, your first dream. Nobody's dreaming about playing arena football, but I mean, shoot, it's an opportunity to continue to play ball, at a high level. And they blessed me with an opportunity for 3 years, before I got back outside. So I'm truly thankful for, what the indoor football league is and, what they provide.
Well, just even think of a guy like Kurt Warner, right, Justin? Look at him.
Yeah.
He was in Iowa and then ended up going to the NFL.
Yeah, which is, it's hard to do that one. There's only a couple guys that went from, arena to the NFL. But like you said, it's there. Like the opportunity is there, and if you take advantage of it, like you'll definitely move up. There's definitely been a lot of guys the past couple of years that are going to the UFL, CFL, things like that. So it's pretty awesome. It's awesome to see.
What's that game like in the indoor facilities? Like just as far as then you compare it when you came up here and you're looking at the field, it's like 3 times the size or something like that, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, you really won't get too tired. It's a 50-yard field. If you get tired in there, you're probably out of shape. But it's brutal. I always tell the guys, like, they hit way harder in there. You have the wall that you can flip people over. You might run over the wall. Like it's brutal. It's a hard game. Like, you really got to take care of your body.
Is it the closing factor? Like, guys can close in on you so much quicker.
I think so. And I think a lot of guys have, like, a little chip on their shoulder, like the corners, like this is your opportunity so that you can be a physical corner, right? Like, cause most corners, they have that little stigma that they don't hit. Well, like in indoor, like from the corners, the safeties, linebackers to the D-line, everybody's hitting, cause you have to. It's, like you said, it's close quarters. If I break an outside run, it's me in the corner. Like you have no choice but to hit me here.
Right on. Yeah. Justin Rankin with us on Sports 1440. Another question from our text line. Question for JR. This is from Bill. After his big touchdown, he was out for a couple of series. Did he just get nicked up or just a change or just, a change of pace? What was that all about there?
Yeah, I think it's a change of pace. We still have Javon Lee, and I don't ever want anybody, like, to forget that, like, we have Javon Lee. Like, Javon Lee is a great player. You give him a little bit of space. I mean, he's out of there. He's one of the fastest players in football. So I think it's just a change of pace, man. Like, to be able to try to game plan and stop for me and Javon, like, that's difficult. Like, you're spending all week, game planning for the both of us. And, that's pretty tough to do.
Maybe just get a thought on Cody Fajardo, Justin, in the sense that, since he's taken over as starting quarterback, maybe settled things down, maybe more of a veteran presence. What's he meant to the team here?
Man, he's amazing. I mean, even when he wasn't playing, like, he's a real vet, true pros pro. To be able to just have him in the facility, is amazing. Like the way he calms the guys down, the way he talks to us, the way that he leads this team is, it's nothing short of amazing. So, like, I'm truly grateful for Cody. I talk to him every day. I text him, just check up on him. Like, I love that guy, man.
Mm-hmm. What did you think of the team's defense when you think about it? Really, just a late touchdown by Calgary here, 31-19, in the sense that your defense played exceptionally well against an offense that put 28 points up on the board just 5 days earlier. What did you make of how your D played?
Yeah, they started the fire, in that game that Saturday. Like I said, we came out flat on the offensive side of things. So for him to be able to continue to hold them, and that's Vernon Adams. That's not like a scrub out there. That's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And for 2 games in a row, they held him down to a very, very short amount of passing yards. So for him to be able to do that, back-to-back games, especially with some of the key players that we had out on the defense. I mean, it just shows how much depth we have, on that side of the ball and how bought in those guys are and, how much they believe and trust in each other regardless of who's out there in the field. So, it's a huge shout out to them. I'll let them know, like, man, you guys kept us in this game. You guys won this game for us.
Well, was that talked about, Justin, in the sense that, we're missing some guys, but it's next man up and those guys got to come in and do the job?
Yeah, Coach Killam continued to preach it all year, he let everybody know, like, look, like, even if you're in the practice squad, we're going to need you guys at some point, so it doesn't matter whether you're practice squad, you're second string, third string, like, stay locked in and be ready. Like, we believe in everybody that we have on this team. Everybody matters. It doesn't matter, what your role is. Like, you're a huge part of the team. And I think that right there, like, it showed the guys, like, okay, like, just because I'm third string now or I'm a practice squad now, like, anything could happen. Like, I need to be ready to play. So I think it kind of just built the belief a little more, in the room. And, I love that I hate that it happened to the guys that, were starting, but I love that it happened, and those guys took advantage of the opportunity that was presented to them.
Well, you guys are right in the mix now, Justin, as you know, at 5-7, just a game back of Winnipeg. Head to Toronto for a game on Saturday afternoon. What do you make of the Argos, who seem to be just putting up points at will here? This could be a bit of a shootout. What do you make of the tilt Saturday and TO?
Yeah, that's a great team. I thought they were a great team the last time we played them. I mean, they got some great guys. I mean, that's they came off the Grey Cup. Like, they got some good guys that play good football. And, I think that we got good guys in our room as well, though. So, yeah, it may be a shootout, but, I mean, we're fighters. And every game, so far, like, we fought to the fourth quarter, to the clock hit zero. And I think that's kind of our MO is, we're going to fight till the game's over.
Yeah. Can you feel things kind of, gelling and coming together here, Justin?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I think we're showing that in the field as well, right? Like, it's not perfect, but every week it gets better and better and better. At certain things that we're preaching every week that we need to get better at. So it feels good to be able to see, all the things we're practicing, all the things that we're putting up in the film that we want to be able to do. And we come out here and we do it, and to look back at the film, you're like, man, like, this is a team that is consistently growing, constantly getting better, and guys are really bought in. So that's huge.
Yeah, so cool. It's been a long journey from Northwest Missouri State, right?
Yeah, I'm telling you, a long journey. It's
yeah,
insane, but it's nice to be able to sit back and look at it sometimes. Every time you guys remind me of it, I'm like, man, it really has been a long one.
Well, it's been a great story for sure. Justin, thanks so much for coming on this morning. Continued success as the season moves into the final third here, and good luck in Toronto on Saturday. Thanks for coming on.
Heck yeah. Thank you. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, that's Justin Rankin. Probably, without question, I don't see anyone else who's not going to be or would be ahead of him as the CFL Player of the Week offensively. 16 carries, 204 yards, 2 touchdowns, a 90-yarder, a 31-yarder. Absolutely amazing performance Saturday against Calgary. And again, this team is right in the playoff mix right now. It is right in the playoff mix. Things are coming together, 5-7. They're only a game back of Winnipeg. They got a game with Winnipeg. They got a game with BC yet. BC does have the tie break, though, because they beat them. BC's beat Edmonton twice already this year. So, and then you look at, out east, Toronto, coming on a little bit. Didn't look good for Toronto, but they're coming on a little bit here. In Ottawa, 4-8, both teams 4-8 so far. And a team that's leaking is Montreal. Montreal, just so many injuries right now in the quarterback position and, across the depth chart too. So that was the headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter, the #1 overall pick in your fantasy plumbing pool. That's mrrooter.ca. When we come back, the con man, Connor Halley from Fantasy Frenzy and the Jason Greger Show. He'll be with us right after the break. It's Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne on Sports 1440 and streaming on YouTube.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 25% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until October 18th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Summit Restaurant, located in the heart of the Silent Ice Center and just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Summit is your destination for exceptional house-made pizza, delicious entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails. Experience the perfect blend of flavor and ambiance in a modern setting. Join us for a straightforward yet elevated dining experience where our commitment to quality speaks to every bite and sip. Make Summit Restaurant your next night on the town.
At Fountain Tire, you can save $50 off tire storage with the purchase of 4 select tires now until September 30th at participating locations.
Okay.
Or you could squeeze them into your backseat, possibly causing upholstery damage, drive them home, struggle, sweating buckets trying to get them out of your vehicle, resulting in you feeling guilty for not going to the gym more often, or at all. But at the end of the day, it's your choice. Totally up to you.
Definitely $50 off the tire storage.
You got it. Book your appointment today at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Edmonton sports fans stay informed with Sports 1440. Stream us. Listen to us on the AM dial. However you consume this radio station, thanks for listening.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 Triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the two best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
Farm, ranch, acreage, or lake lot. They're here to help at Bashaw Concrete Products. Family owned and operated for 60 years. They continue to provide the best products and service, period. Call now for your free quote on the highest quality ready mix and gravel, a new septic tank, or an outhouse pad and tank, plus precast cattle water pads, garage sumps, and more. Call 780-372-3854 for prompt delivery. Bashaw Concrete Products, 780-372-3854. BashawConcrete.com.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
Welcome back to the big program. 1021 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, the Duke of Delburne with you on Sports 1440. Josh Fenwick and Sam, the record man, streaming on YouTube as well. And we welcome in the con man, Connor Halley from Fantasy Frenzy and the Jason Gregor Show. Good morning, con man. How many hours of football did you watch in the weekend?
Oh, that would be tough to total. Yeah. Friday night, Saturday when the boy was asleep.
So call it some
Saturday
college.
College. Little Canadian,
Yeah.
of course. See the Elks pick up the win was absolutely massive. Sunday, all afternoon.
Yeah.
Got home, almost turned that Bills-Ravens game off. When it was like a 15-point lead in the fourth quarter, I thought, Ashley's watched a lot of football. Maybe we'll turn it off and watch something else. And I thought, let's just give it a few more minutes.
Yeah.
Thank goodness I did, because what a finish that was.
The big catch, I think, with 3 minutes left down to the 1 yard line by the tight end, his first ever catch. I can't remember his name now, but anyway, that was key because that got him back into the.
Yeah.
And it looked a little hairy there.
The
too,
little
like,
play to, I know, like Josh Allen had 251 yards in the fourth quarter, but the dump off to James Cook, let him do the rest of the job. What a game. That was so much fun. And I know a lot of people hyping up, the Bills for that game and the Ravens previously, but they got to figure out that defense. I know that's two MVP caliber quarterbacks, but those defenses were getting diced.
They were. But, and I had the stat out here. First time ever that a team has scored 40 points, being Baltimore, and rushed for 235 yards.
Yeah.
First time ever in NFL history that team loses.
It's crazy.
So if you think if you're going to run the ball 235 and you're going to put 40 on the board, yeah. So anyway, let's just sit back all the way to Friday because your Chargers came out with a big, anytime you can start off the season by beating the Chiefs, they got the crown, man.
Yeah.
You got this is the team you got to go through. You can talk about Denver all you want in the division, but man, that was a big start for your Chargers.
Yeah, it was 7 straight times the Chiefs had beat the Chargers going into this one, 9 straight division titles. So they are the big brother in the division, and it's been that way for a long time. And even last year, it was getting closer. They were finding ways to beat the Raiders and the Broncos in these close margins and silly things happening. But yeah, that game was really good, and they got the lead. And then they were aggressive at times when they had to be. Like, I feel like when you're playing the Kansas City Chiefs, you can't give them that opportunity. You can't let Mahomes have the ball to drive down and win with less than 2 minutes left, because he's going to do so. It was like watching the Josh Allen last night. For the Ravens fan, I was like, I know this feeling. You can't stop him. He's going to score. I've seen that with Patrick Mahomes so many times. So there's a 4th and 1. They went for it, converted. And when the Chiefs answered, the Chargers answered right back, which is something we haven't seen from them for a long time. And then to see Justin Herbert run the ball, to end the game, that was it. Slide, victory formation, felt so good. And, it was a fun game. I think the Chiefs are obviously still a really good football team, but, to see them yelling at each other on the sideline and Travis Kelce headbutting Taylor there. I mean, it was fun. As a Chargers fan, it felt really good to see that sort of thing.
Well, I mean, the Chiefs fall into that category of a team that's so successful that you hate them.
Yeah.
If you're not a Chiefs fan.
100%.
That's how it is. That's just how people are.
Well, you go back to like 2018, 2019, I believe, when it was the Patriots we hated. And I remember as a division rival saying, I'm cheering for the Chiefs. I hope they beat the Patriots. 6 years later, 7 years later, I hate them. So it's just the cycle of it. When people hate you, it's usually because you're good. So.
Yeah. And I mean, just the way I thought Herbert was very methodical and just so solid. And that's his demeanor all the time.
Yeah.
But maybe it's just because they finally beat them.
100%. And this, Chargers fans will tell you, this is what he is. He does these things, but people don't see it all the time. And I think this year having Keenan Allen and Ladd McConkey, especially those second and third and short situations where, running the ball with Najee Harris or Morgan Hampton's an option, but you also have 2 route runners who are elite, who can make things happen from the slot. I think that's going to give teams difficulty. And if some of the other players can start to open things up downfield, they've got a guy named Keandre Lambert-Smith they drafted, Trey Harris, and Quentin Johnson. I mean, that was a typical Quentin Johnson performance. Does some good things, still has a drop. I mean, that people still won't forget that drop in the end zone. It hit him in the hands. It was more difficult than the others. But anytime he makes a play, I make sure to send it to our group chat with the Duke and Declan, because there's some Quentin Johnson slander in there too many times.
Keenan Allen looked pretty good though too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's his game. He was never really built on speed. I think coming out of the combine, he ran like a 4.5 or 4.6 40. Might have been some injury back then, but his route running creates separation. And with all due respect to Mike Williams, Josh Palmer, I don't think he's ever had a running mate like Ladd McConkey, where teams do have to watch him, and you get them on the same side of the field. They're breaking ankles. So it's fun to see. With that being said, Chiefs still almost won, so they're still a pretty damn good football team.
Kevin Karius, Connor Alley with you on Sports 1440. So around the league, and we talked about it in or out, the best performances, worst performances, and even off the top with Eddie, what's the number one storyline? For me, I think it was Daniel Jones and the Colts, to be honest with you. I don't know. There were several, but that's at the top of the list for me.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a Miami Dolphins fan, we kind of talked about it during the NFL previews. Is Mike McDaniel, is the seat hot? Because when they're winning, he's having fun. His antics are pretty cool. But when they start losing football games and it's I don't know how much we really necessarily like this guy, but Daniel Jones, absolutely. I just got the stats here. Pretty great performance and a good run game from the team to kind of balance it out there. But he's making all the throws, and I don't know if he's going to be Sam Darnold 2.0, but another reason not to give up on these guys.
Yeah, but remember, it's when the quarterback was announced, the starting quarterback, everyone there might have been a handful of Jones supporters. Everyone loves the backup more. And they were saying this is a mistake by Steichen. So I don't know.
I mean, I trust Steichen. He knows what he's doing. He's he was a coordinator with the Chargers back in the day, and obviously had a really good run with the Eagles. So I think he knows what he's doing. I would say Daniel Jones, maybe the ceiling isn't as high as Anthony Richardson. I think everybody would agree to that. But the floor is a lot higher as well. And Richardson was just so inconsistent. He's never going to live down taking himself out of a game because he was tired. People are always going to remember that. And from a quarterback, I've never seen that before. I'm sure you're in the same boat. That doesn't happen. He's too inconsistent, makes bad reads. Starting him his first year might have been a mistake. I think in hindsight, they probably would have loved to had a veteran start for a year or two and then gone to Richardson, because even at Florida State, despite having all the tools, he didn't have that many starts.
Yeah, we had Alain Poupard on from SI in Miami, and he did an article where he contacted basically all of the major media outlets, and I don't think anyone had Miami inside the top 25.
Really?
As far as a power ranking goes. So if that's an indication, just week one. I mean, they could, we're 4 wins, 5 wins.
Yeah, I
Max.
mean, and it's funny because and then is there a fire sale? Like, do they look to move on? Does Tyreek Hill want out? I mean, obviously he's not the player he once was, but I think Devon Achane, does that 7 carries remind you of any football teams in the local area? Like, you're not going to win football games, and I know they were down 20 points at halftime, but only down 3 after the first quarter. Like, he's a pretty good back, average at almost 8 yards per carry. Get him the football.
So if the Dolphins, Colts are at the top of the storylines, Aaron Rodgers, Pittsburgh, I mean, that's up there too.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers going out there throwing 4 touchdowns, vengeance against his old team. We saw it down the stretch. He played some pretty good football when he had the weapons around him with the New York Jets, but it seems like it's a little different. When he was in New York, it felt like there was a lot of attention on him, and all the football world was watching. At times, I almost forgot that he plays in Pittsburgh. Like, it's just he has been, from what I've seen, keeping his mouth a little quieter, not saying quite as much, and a Mike Tomlin-led football team. I think that might be part of it. Like, when he speaks, you listen. He's going to get you probably into the playoffs with this team, even if he wasn't on there. Like, he's just a really good football coach. The bar is high in Pittsburgh, and to go into New York and have that type of performance and capitalize the way they did, all of a sudden the Steelers. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to have them in the same boat as the Ravens after what we saw last night, but geez, with that defense, maybe Rodgers can throw 4 touchdowns against them as well. That was a good one. And then also, I mean, I really actually enjoyed the Browns-Bengals game, and the Bengals, are there questions creeping in about that defense? At times, the Browns are moving the ball downfield on them with Joe Flacco and not much else. So, and then the Browns, good on them for holding that offense to just 17 points. So that was actually another game I kind of enjoyed.
Poor kicker. That's the
young guy.
A couple of them,
yeah.
And we, out of all the teams, like a lot of love in the preseason given to New England.
Yeah,
a lot of people. There's a chance New England can maybe challenge Buffalo a tiny bit. They're not going to win the division, but for the Raiders to go into New England and win that game, and the other guy that we were mentioning that maybe didn't get much love yesterday is Geno Smith.
Yeah,
I mean, he comes in as his passer rating is 102.8. Was 24-34, had a pick, but a touchdown. But he was Geno if that's the Geno Smith that they got, because there's always good Geno, bad Geno. We've seen it in Seattle for many, many years. Maybe the Raiders have something here,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I was quite on his board as the Patriots as some other people. Like, I thought that Mike Vrabel probably gets them a few extra wins and wins they shouldn't get, but I still don't love the roster. I mean, Drake May, I'm not as high on him as some people. A lot of people are, appointing him as the next guy. I didn't necessarily see it. Stephon Diggs was a good addition. Hunter Henry is going to be there. I like that they're building that offensive line. The kid out Campbell out of LSU. Like, I think there's a future there, but I can't say personally that I'm as high on them. Christian Gonzalez wasn't playing, pretty good player for them at corner, right? So yeah, I don't know. I can't. I'm not going to say it was a bad one for the Raiders, since no such thing. Geno Smith, I think, was such an upgrade for them versus what they had last year with Aiden O'Connell. Like, it was just a pretty low bar, and I think Geno's a good quarterback. So I'm not overly surprised by that. And I think Pete Carroll also was such a good move for them just to change that culture. They haven't had that steadying head coach in a long time, and I think Pete Carroll will bring that in, even at his advanced age. I think he's going to kind of set the tone, change the mindset in Vegas, and change how they play. But yeah, it was pretty good for them. Not a great day for Ashton Genty, though.
No, he was
19 carries, 38 yards. Not the best, but
he was 2 yards average per carry, right?
He gets the Chargers next week, so maybe he'll break out.
Maybe. We talked about Duke's Texans here, man. Oh man, CJ Stroud called them lollygaggers, his teammates.
Wow.
Yeah, lollygagging.
Can't be saying that.
I shouldn't say that he called them lollygaggers. He said we were lollygagging. That's just right out of Bull Durham here.
Yeah,
a bunch of lollygaggers.
I don't know what I expected out of that. I mean, defensively, you hold the Rams to 14 points. A pretty good offensive team with Stafford, Williams, Nakua, Devontae Adams. Pretty good offensive team, and that's not to be expected, I suppose. I guess even for the Rams, though. I mean, they had a really good draft last year with those Florida State players. Pretty good defense in their own right, but the running game couldn't really get it going. They tried. I mean, Nick Chubb held up, so that's kind of an encouraging thing, I suppose. But yeah, unfortunately, I didn't watch much of that game because I just didn't really want to. I don't know. There wasn't too much for me to get excited about in that one. I was just hoping for a Devontae Adams touchdown, have him in fantasy. But other than that, yeah, there wasn't too much for me. And if you had a Texans receiver in that game in fantasy,
I had Nico Collins. It was terrible.
Yeah, not a whole lot going on there. Hopefully it was PPR, so you got at least a couple extra points.
Did you have a fantasy guy on the weekend that you were, we were talking about Deebo Samuel.
Yeah.
I mean, he put out some big numbers, man. 27 fantasy points, something like that.
Kind of funny, all the people who were slandering him. We didn't have too many. Derrick Henry, obviously. We had a good call by the Duke to go with Ricky Pearsall. He put up 12 points in our flex, which is okay. It was between he and DeAndre Swift, so we'll see what Swift does tonight. Other than that, I think it was pretty ho-hum for me. I didn't have too many guys. Chuba put up 16 points in one of my leagues, which was nice. I left Keenan Allen on the bench, left Ty Warren on the bench.
Yeah.
So other than that, looks like I'm going to go 2-1 in our 3 leagues, which is okay. But George Kittle, I'll have him in 2 teams. So that's not ideal.
Bowers looks like he's not as serious as some people thought.
Yeah.
But Kittle, who knows?
Hamstring.
Yeah.
That's a touch and go. In one league, I have Ty Warren. So that might be a nice slide for me. But yeah, the way Kittle started that game, had a few conversions on third down, had the touchdown, and to go out like that was a tough one for the Niners.
I told you earlier, my last pick was in our draft was Harold Fannin Jr.
Good pick.
Last pick. So he actually, what did he put up? He put up 13.
Yeah.
7 receptions, 63 yards. So you never know. Those are those picks at the very end where you're taking a flyer, but you're hoping.
I love the tight end class this year, and then not just the top 2 guys, the Fannins, the Arroyo, Mason Taylor. I think there's some sleepers there.
I haven't even really checked a waiver wire yet. Is there a guy out there that we didn't see that, let's just say, quite likely wasn't drafted in drafts?
Yeah.
Is there anyone out there that you probably saw on the weekend that maybe would be top of mind for waiver wires already?
Well, I mean, I think if you're looking in Kansas City, how about Hollywood Brown with the injured Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice out? Maybe Hollywood Brown could be the guy someone looks at. Sticking with Friday night, Quentin Johnston probably wasn't taken in too many leagues, but 2 touchdowns. Justin Herbert trusts him. And there's a little bit more, I think, of a plan to get the ball in his hands, less shots downfield, more so just get it to him quicker. Could Daniel Jones be a guy people look at?
Aaron Rodgers probably wasn't
Aaron
picked.
Rodgers, absolutely.
Rodgers and Jones are probably out there in a lot of leagues.
Fannin Jr., I mean, you have him, but I think that's the guy people might want to look at as well.
I'm just checking Rasheed Ali. When he put up a fair bit, he got 17 points. I'm seeing. As far as non-quarterback guys, guy out of New England, Keyshawn Boat. 16 points. I see. Juwan Johnson, tight end at New Orleans, put up 15. Trey Tucker put up 14 in our full PPR league. So there's some guys out there. But you know how it works, guys, because guys always panic and they take a guy after week 1.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I try not to do that. I think I'm just like a hater. Even a couple of years ago, I was like, Puka Nacua, one good game, whatever. And then obviously he's gone on to do what he's been able to do as of late. But I usually just kind of hold steady on this one. And I'm just hoping for some injury news like Drake London with the shoulder, hoping that is okay.
That's another one. Yeah.
If there's someone in Atlanta who could, pick up a little bit there, maybe look there for the waiver wire. But yeah, it's I'm just so happy football's back. It was a good day.
Well, Playbook Vic says, I'm jealous, Connor. I turned the game off to watch the summer I turned pretty with my woman after having sports on all weekend. The summer I turned pretty. Wow. That's, do you lose your man card, Playbook Vic? How does that work?
Just quickly, I just said football's back, NFL football. Before people come at me.
We already got condemned for that last week.
The summer
I turned pretty. Yeah, it's a very popular show. I've seen some episodes of it when I was living in Fort Saskatchewan with Chucky Slick and Abby. Abby loved it. It's based on a book, apparently.
Wow.
I don't think you lose your man card, Kevin, because as he said, been watching sports all weekend. But you're trying to keep your significant other happy, there you got a little give, little take.
He turned off the most exciting game to watch.
Yeah, but how would you know?
Well, he said he did.
No, but how would he, when you turn it off, it's a 15-point game, looks like it's kind of over. Maybe he's like, all right, yeah, no problem. You would think you'd be keeping tabs on it, and as it gets closer, maybe you flip it back on. But I'm not gonna hold it against him.
I kind of got lucky. Well, in a sense, our microwave broke, So we went and got a new one.
Yeah.
So we were installing it. And like at that point where I was like, it was in my mind, like we could probably turn this off. She was reading the instructions to the new microwave. So it bought me some time. And then all of a sudden the game started doing what it was doing. And
What
I
kind
put
of
the remote right
instructions?
down.
Like, what do you like? The microwave?
Just, you
is-
know,
I mean,
well, you know what it did? It also had that lock feature, which was the bane of people's existence in the Stingray kitchen. Every time it ends, it locks.
Yeah.
So we had to find the code to make sure we unlocked it.
Oh,
Like
okay.
that. What's the point of locking a microwave? You know. Anyways, it worked out well.
what's coming up? Fantasy Frenzy and Jason Gregor later today.
Oh, Fantasy Frenzy. I'm just getting a lot of people texting, and you just need to plug it in. Well, for some people, my wife a little more detail oriented. She was taking a gander. Ruthie Polinsky is going to join us on Fantasy Frenzy out of Chicago. So
Okay.
we'll talk about the Bears, what you can expect, from DeAndre Swift.
What are you thinking?
I don't know. I'm really intrigued. Preseason means nothing to me. So any naysayers about Caleb Williams, I'm going to hold off to the regular season. But Cole Kmet, Colston Loveland, DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, a guy I'm hoping big things for. They got a lot of really nice weapons there. So intrigued by that one. Then on the Gregor Show, let me bring up the lineup. Kevin Woodley will join us. We're going to have Pierre Houdon, voice of the Montreal Canadiens. I will talk about the passing of Ken Dryden, which is terrible news Friday night. Spec, Cam Tate's 2-minute warning, which is now going to be 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And so lots going on in the Gregor Show. We'll talk football, some Elks as well. It'll be a busy show with Gregor.
Kendrick Bourne returning to the San Francisco 49ers, just signed a 1-year deal. Max value $5 million per Adam Schefter. MTR will be just ecstatic with that. Hey, the Niners barely won that game, man.
Yeah.
They barely, the fumble by Darnold with how much time left, was off his own guy.
Yeah.
Did you see it hit his hand? So MTR, you got lucky.
That game took me back to the early 2000s NFC West, where I just hated watching football. Channel 16, Fox Seattle. Always had to watch those damn games.
Yeah.
But yeah, as he says, a win's a win. You're not going to complain about it.
We'll see what happens. 12 more to go, MTR. 12 more till you win the bet. Thanks, Conman. Have a good shows.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you later.
See ya.
Connor Halley, Fantasy Frenzy, Jason Gregor Show. When we come back, we'll wrap things up, get to some of your texts, 833-401-1440. It's Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne on Sports 1440 and streaming on YouTube.
That's the sound of Harley you've been dreaming about. And this is the sound of opportunity knocking, and it's coming from Harley-Davidson of Edmonton.
Our end of season sale is on, and we're clearing the floor with unbelievable prices on a huge selection of pre-owned bikes. This is your moment to own the legend.
Find your dream machine at Harley-Davidson of Edmonton on the Yellowhead Trail. Locally owned and operated by the Kent family and celebrating 45 years.
$1 plus tax for a smooth, small premium roast coffee at McDonald's? That means rich, full-bodied flavor at a price that's just as satisfying. Must be McCafe. Enjoy a small McCafe premium roast coffee for just $1 plus tax at participating McDonald's in Canada. Prices exclude delivery.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Every weekend, listen right here for live broadcasts of Toronto Blue Jays baseball. Sports 1440, proud to be the home of the Blue Jays.
There's something we need to talk about: debt. It's an uncomfortable topic, but the truth is, most of us carry some form of debt, and we are ashamed to talk about it. My name is Parveen Middleton, a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. Every day, people struggling with debt come to me for a solution. When you make that call, I'll listen to your story without judgment and will lead you to a debt-free future. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to learn more.
This is the original extreme sport. 3 teams, 1 wild season, and they're all chasing glory.
To be successful, you can't ride safe.
Horse Warriors. It's on Thursday nights on APTN TV. You're gonna love it.
I'm Rick Showers from Noble RV, and I want to explain how our operation works. You see, over at the new RV store, they take orders and try to sell them all by camping season, and sometimes they sell out early. Sometimes they're stuck with a few that just won't move, and maybe they take a couple of used ones on trade. At Noble, it's a whole different ballgame.
You have inventory arriving all the time, right, Rick?
That's right, Bob. The RVs at Noble are here on consignment. Folks choose to sell their RVs with us because the customers are already here.
And you specialize in used RVs.
Better believe it, Bob. The new RV stores are not that interested in used models. And nobody in Alberta has more quality used RVs than we do. Not by a long shot. So if you want to sell yours fast, come to where the buyers are. And that's here.
And that's Noble.
NobleRV.ca.
Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 1046 in Edmonton, home stretch of the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440, streaming on YouTube with the Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick, and Sam the Record Man, our new intern here on Sports 1440. Duke, just looking at the Fantasy Frenzy baseball draft, and I'm just so disappointed. I finished a half game out to make the playoffs.
Defending champion, half game out.
Half game out. Sickening. So I don't make the grade 8. You guys will be playing Maddie's Mashers. Fantasy Frenzy team finished first. Take on Maddie's Mashers.
We are coming in ice cold. Ice cold. Fantasy Frenzy team, not at the top of their game, but hopefully our players recognize it's playoff time.
Yeah.
It's the home stretch of the regular season. A lot of these teams jostling for playoff position, so I'm trying to get in. Several in pennant races. I'm confident that we can right the ship here, but our starting pitching needs to shape up here.
So it's Fantasy Frenzy versus Maddie's Mashers. Johnny Bean Burrito versus the BABIP News Bears.
BAPIP.
What is it? BAPIP?
BAPIP. That's a stat.
Okay, whatever. Aaron takes on Playbook Vic, and then MTR will lose to Average Joe's in the other. So that's the quarterfinals, I guess, eh?
It's Yeah, you betcha. First round. It is kind of crazy, and I don't mean to keep harping up, but like Fantasy Frenzy, we have lost, I think, 4 straight weeks. Wow. Maybe tied and then lost 3 in a row. I can't remember exactly. And we still won first place by 12 games.
Yeah. You guys were 4-5-1 last week. Aaron was 8-2 last week. MTR was the BAPIP News Bears were 9-1. So a half game, Duke, is all I needed.
You didn't even finish in 9th, though.
Yeah.
It was a tie in 8th. That's tough for HGH All-Stars.
Aaron says, Duke, you think your starting pitching is bad? I'm going into the playoffs with 3 rookie pitchers. That's where I'm at.
Well, hey, if there's some of these rookie pitchers that are absolutely lighting it up right now, the guy in Chicago, Nails.
He's got Luis Morales out of the Athletics, Parker Messick for Cleveland, Jonah Tong, the Mets. Yeah, he's kind of looking a little weak here.
I've got both Bobby Wood Jr. and PCA are day-to-day, so that's not inspiring. I'm going to have to make some roster decisions here. Some of my like, I'm very top-heavy, which has been good.
Armstrong's back, I think, now, isn't he?
Yeah, they what didn't seem to be serious. If anything, he might maybe miss today's game, but I wouldn't expect it any longer than that. And then my pitching staff is a mess. Mackenzie Gore and Landon Roop both being unavailable has really.
You got enough. You got Marty Perez.
Yeah, he's good. Go Sox.
Marty Perez. But you got Will Vest, Joanne.
I had Perez earlier in the year,
Yeah.
like towards the start, and he actually was playing quite well. Then he was hurt for quite a stretch. I didn't bother picking him back up again because he plays for the White Sox. But yeah,
how is Bobby Witt Jr. doing, or what's?
He's probably been my best player as
No.
of late.
But is he going to be okay for this week?
I think so. He sat out yesterday, which was his second straight. No structural damage from the MRI. His lower back spasms. It's a big matchup against Cleveland here. I'm hoping he'll be back in.
Well, I mean, that's massive. You got to have him because he's your number one guy.
Well, yeah, number one overall pick, and he hasn't been my kind of MVP of this team for the season. You know, Cal Raleigh, Kyle Schwarber, PCA have all been really good. PCA much more so in the first half of the campaign. But Bobby Witt's come on. He's kind of helped pick up some of that slack from the return to the mean that some of those other players have. Not Kyle Schwarber. He continues to be unreal.
Aaron he says, KK, I'll let you figure out my first base position for the playoffs. Andrew Vaughn or Jake Berger. I'm going to take the Berger time.
I would too.
Yeah. Texas is coming on a little bit here, aren't
Very much so. And Berger's been playing great as of late.
Yeah, I would take the Berger time. It's Berger time. Duke, anything as we recap, anything that you wanted to mention here? NFL or even tonight's game? I think Playbook Vic just texted in too here. It said 46 points tonight from Jefferson Mason and the Minnesota defense.
That's asking a lot.
That is well, okay. Let's just say Jefferson gets 20. Right?
Like, yeah. And Mason, I know a lot of people are high on him because Aaron Jones is no spring chicken anymore, but I still think he's pretty clearly number 2 in the backfield. And Aaron Jones is so valuable as a pass catcher. For a guy like J.J. McCarthy, I have to think that that's going to be utilized a lot.
Yeah.
Jones is a very sure-handed running back, out of the backfield, screen game, whatever.
Yeah.
I think they'll like him to be on the field more than not as a safety outlet for him. And then the Minnesota D, well, the Bears are going to put up 100. Caleb Williams,
you love
17
Caleb.
touchdown
You love
passes.
Caleb Williams, don't you?
Yeah. I just think he kind of got a little bit of a raw deal last year. I'm not trying to defend and say he was perfect. He has a lot. He still has a lot to learn at the NFL level and things he can't do that he got away with at college. But the coaching disaster, the O-line was terrible. So many things ended up being against him that at the start of the year, they didn't really seem to be. He's got weapons, new coach in place. They revamped the offensive line. The defense should be okay. This is a big prove-it year, which is crazy to say for just a second season. But as a guy as hyped as he was as the number one pick, this is big. We'll see what Ben Johnson can make happen there.
I'm going to go out and for me, the crazy fantasy player of the night, Duke, Luther Burden III.
Yeah,
that's who I'm going to go with.
I need 8 points from Roma Dunze to win my one league, and then I think it's a total of maybe 20 points between Jefferson and DeAndre Swift to win my other. Hold on, I just want to make sure I have those numbers. Oh, no, I need more than that. I need 30. I need 30 points.
Ray Cerrone wants to know, do you also paint your nails, Duke, like Caleb does?
No, but I don't condemn him for doing that. He can do what he wants. That's his prerogative. If he wants to wear, like, dress in high fashion like a guy like Joe Burrow does sometimes, or paint his nails, or cry because he loses a game like he did in college, people like held that stuff against him. To me, it shows he cares. I don't know. Physically,
what color does he paint him?
He changes it all the time. Sometimes he paints his team. I know in college, I think he would paint the opponent's name on them. Maybe.
Remember Benji Molina? He was one of the. He used to be a catcher in the majors.
Okay.
He always painted his.
But
nails.
Didn't he use those for signs?
The pitcher could see the
colors
better. Yeah, they were yellow usually.
Yeah.
So you never would do your nails?
What? I don't know. I guess we'll see when my one niece gets to the age that she wants to start doing that all the time. And
what about these two women that you met? What if they said, Duke,
why would they want me to paint my nails?
Well, no, they're painting them for you. It's like it's one of those love scenes in the movies, you know?
I can't envision that happening, but it's hard for me to say no. I've never been put in that spot. I'll be shocked if I ever am.
I've never been put in that spot, and I'll be shocked if I am.
What, to have a girl ask, "Hey, can I paint your nails?"
Yeah,
it's to show that I love you.
Oh, Duke. It's all over for you, and it hasn't even started. It's all over.
That's possibly true. Possibly true.
Thanks to all of our guests today. Alan Mitchell led things off as he does on a Monday morning. Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. Levi Weaver, The Athletic. The Jays with the day off. 2-game lead over the Yankees in the American League East Division. Justin Rankin, great conversation with a guy that is sure as you-know-what to be the CFL Offensive Player of the Week. And Connor Halley from Fantasy Frenzy. Plus, of course, our co-host on Mondays and Fridays, Eddie Steele. Coming up at the top of the hour, it is Fantasy Frenzy with
the former Ross Shep T-Bird,
Connor Halley, and the Duke of Delburne. 12 o'clock till 2. It's the Lowdown with Alan Mitchell. 2 till 6, Jason Greger drives us home with the Jason Greger Show. We got Fox Sports all night long until we are back with you tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. Before all of that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Culligan. For all your residential water needs, your local water treatment company, more than just big bottles. Check them out at culligan.com. Thanks for listening, everyone. Really appreciate that, and appreciate all the great texts we had, all the interaction. Could not do the show without you. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7. Here is the Duke.
The Sports 1440 update.
Week 1 in the NFL wrapping up tonight from the Windy City. The Chicago Bears hosting division rival Minnesota Vikings. First career start on tap for former first-rounder J.J. McCarthy under center for Minnesota. Kickoff coming 6:15 Mountain Time. In the majors today, no Blue Jays as they are off before opening a set against Houston tomorrow, but elsewhere around the leagues, Cleveland hosting the Kansas City Royals. The Mets are in Philadelphia for an NL East matchup. Cubbies taking on the Braves. Mariners host the Cardinals. Reds going up against the Padres. Brewers in Texas against the Rangers. D-backs Giants. Red Sox Athletics. And Dodgers hosting the Rockies in the nightcap. From the NHL, Carolina Hurricanes signing forward Kevin LeBanc to a professional tryout offer. 29-year-old forward spent last season with the Columbus Blue Jackets. Coming up on Sports 1440, it is Fantasy Frenzy with Hallie and Douglas. I'm Brandon Douglas. That's your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall.